All right, what's up, YouTube? I think we're live, guys.
Oh, YouTube!
What's up, YouTube?
What's up? What's up?
We are live here in Murf's Fan Cave for episode number 135 of Raiders Fan Radio. So just wait for this thing to finish clicking here.
It's a triple threat. It's a triple threat tonight.
It's a triple threat match.
Hey.
And,
just press the damn button, nerd.
All right. I will. All right, here we go. I'm going to hit. Oh, where's the intro? Oh, here it is.
You got it. Raiders! Oakland, LA, Oakland, Vegas, Raider Nation, wherever, forever. You got your old Uncle Mosh and Raiders Fan Radio from Murf's Fan Cave, taking a lighter journey into the dark side. Sit back, put your feet up, pop a top, and enjoy the ride. Here we go!
Look left, look right, Biletnikoff, a leaping pass, touchdown!
We miss you, we love you, and we'll see you in the Hall of Fame.
When you have great coaches, then after you have great coaches, you get great players, you have a great organization, and you tell them one thing, just win, baby.
Way up the middle, intercepted Filipiano at the 50, time running down, Oakland football, and I think Oakland victory.
The Oakland Raiders have scored on the most zany, unbelievable, absolutely impossible dream of a play. Well, I love this team. I think this team can win.
What is up, Raider Nation? Your old buddy Murf back once again for another what we hope to be fantastic episode of Raiders Fan Radio, coming to you live from Murf's Fan Cave, episode number 135 of the show. And thankfully, we finally now have football to talk about. We don't have to talk about the past. We don't have to even talk about the present. We get to talk about the future of the Oakland Raiders in 2019 and look forward to bringing you an absolutely monster show tonight. We have a ton of stuff to get to. So if you're joining us live in the chat room, buckle in because we're going to be here for a while. Oh, and they're always in the middle of something. Uncle Mosh's disembodied voice kicks off the show. So,
God.
without further ado, let me go ahead and kick it over to the western annex of the Murf's Fan Cave desk and say hi to the one and only Uncle Mosh.
You did about 8 minutes worth of intro in 7 seconds.
Well, I'm trying to get there. I'm trying to get to everything. I'm trying to go fast. I got so much to do, Mosh. We got so much to talk
Remind
about.
him of that later, Swag, when he's on one of his rants and he starts getting meat sweats coming out of his forehead.
Oh my gosh! Oh, I know. Well, and so then, speaking of meat sweats, so let's welcome to the fan cave the third man in the booth, if you will, for this episode of Raiders Fan Radio. What's up, Swag Jeff?
What up?
Yes, and look at for those of you that are
Look
watching
at all my
on the,
swag.
Look at the YouTube.
Hashtag swag cam.
Swag cam. I love that I've known Jeff for 20 plus years and he's been my boy for all that time. He's been a Raider fan for about 9 minutes, and he's got more swag than you and I combined.
Well, yeah.
He's even installed a fan so that his caftan blows in the
Oh,
wind.
look at that.
I love it. This guy is
like a superhero.
You're like super tech god.
Oh,
You're just
yeah.
you bring
Super
your own
swag.
Yeah.
Super swag.
You are out of control.
Well,
man.
yeah.
Yeah, you're out of control. So good stuff, guys. So we got a lot to get to tonight. Glad to welcome Swag Jeff into Murf's Fan Cave.
Absolutely.
And, of course, glad to welcome Uncle Mosh back in after an absence of a couple weeks as we've continued through our summer schedule. Although we were on last week, for those of you that watch us on YouTube, that's murphsfancave.com/ no, wait. I always mess that up. Gosh dang it.
What is it? Say it again. Slow down.
YouTube.com/Murf's Fan Cave. If you check us out on the YouTubes, on YouTube.com/Murf's Fan Cave, we do these RFR is tripping videos where Uncle Mosh and I are in the car, usually going somewhere. This case, it was a casino, and we got accused of having, it was funny, someone referred to us as being the Thelma and Louise of Raider Nation. That was pretty funny.
I know, and we were looking for a cliff the whole time.
We were looking for a cliff.
After that first day, we took a little bit of a beating. We were looking for a cliff.
That's right. Yeah, we were looking for a clip. But but we had a lot of fun. So we put out a video of that. And so for those of you that got to see that, appreciate that. And on that video, if you like and subscribe and comment on it, you will be selected randomly. We're going to pick 2 of you, and we're going to give away a t-shirt. We're going to give away a Raiders fan radio t-shirt. That's the Get Made t-shirt, as you see up over the right shoulder of Uncle Mosh over there, the Get Made t-shirt.
or in any of Swag Jeff's shots.
Or in any of Swag.
Well, yeah.
So there's Swag Jeff there. You can point at it there, Swag Jeff. So there we go. Yeah. All right. So anyway, so that Get Made t-shirt, we're going to give those away. But even though we're going to give those away, we want to remind you guys, don't be cheapskates. Look, it's $20 or $25, depending on how big they are. And we got big boy sizes. To buy that shirt, you go to
you mentioned big boy sizes.
Yeah.
There's a reason that we have big boy sizes.
And what are those reasons,
Well,
Mosh?
not all of us are just, little wimpy Nancy guys,
No.
Some of us are big guys, like me.
You're a big guy.
I'm a big guy, but see, the thing is I identify as a smaller human being.
Yeah.
One might say that I'm trans fat.
You're skinny. Are you skinny curious?
I'm skinny curious. I do things. I do things like in the wintertime. I bulk up for winter because my goal in life is to watch skinny people shiver. I just think that's great. I don't think that I'm fat. I just got thick skin, heavy bones, and a lot of blood.
Well,
and then I bulk up for summer too, Swag, because I'm a little cheap and sunlight's free. So I want a really big ass tan.
Yeah, you do.
You're out of control.
Yeah, no. It's the truth. It's the truth. And I come from a genealogy of that. My mother, your grandmother, she was built like a pear on 2 toothpicks. We're big people.
We're big people.
So, So I digress. So we've got 3s and 4Xs.
We got 3s and 4Xs, man. So we got big guy size. And look, and that's by request. And so we've already sold a few of them, but we have a few left. So for those of you that are of that size, that have big bones, what is it?
Thick skin, heavy bones, and a lot of blood.
There you go. For those of you that are in that category, then please order your Raiders Fan Radio t-shirt. 100% of the proceeds are going to the Biletnikoff Foundation. They are going to help fund the new Tracy's Place of Hope, and we are going to raise $2,000. You notice I didn't say if we were going to, or we're trying to. I said when we raise $2,000
or more.
Well, because right now, guys, as Swag and I figured it out at lunch the other day, do you remember the number?
We're over a K.
Right over a K.
No.
Yes.
Right over a K
Right
already.
over a K.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah, and in fact, we had a post this last week because not only are we raising money with our shirts, but also you can go to RaidersFanRadio.com/gear, and you can click on the link there that takes you to NFLShop.com, and everything that gets sold on NFLShop.com through that link, a portion of those proceeds get kicked back to us. Doesn't cost you anything extra. They're just giving us some extra money out of it. And again, we're taking all that money and putting it together with our t-shirt money, and we're going to donate it all to the Biletnikoff Foundation at this year's Crab Fest, which happens to be on November 1st this year out in California, out in Central California, Northern California, depending on where you want to draw the line. But anyways, in San Ramon they're doing the Crab Fest, and we're going to present a check. We're going to have one of them big old lottery checks with Raiders Fan Radio written on it.
We're all going to be there.
And we're all going to be there. Thank you for that transition, because this is going to be really cool, y'all. So for those of you that have listened to our show for a while, you know that I started this podcast back in 2016 with my cousin Sonny, and it's gone through a couple different incarnations over the years. And as of right now, it's myself and, of course, Uncle Mosh, as you know, and now Swag Jeff is helping us out, not only as a co-host, but as our social media director, doing a fine job. But so here's the cool thing. And then also we have folks like Aaron Capo, the Q-Dog Raider, that has become part of our family as well. So at this Crab Fest this year, on the Friday before the Raider game on Sunday, I'll be there. Mosh will be there. Swag Jeff will be there, and Sonny will be there. So we're all 4 of us are going to get a chance to attend the event, present the check. It's going to be an amazing night.
Yes.
And then, unfortunately, Aaron won't be able to join us for the Crab Fest, but then that Sunday, he's going to join us at the game. So the 4 of us, plus Aaron, plus some other friends of ours, are all going to be together at the game, at the Lions game, the Lions at Oakland Raiders on that Sunday, November 3rd. It's going to be amazing. I cannot wait.
Wait.
It's going to be an awesome. That weekend, guys, is just going to be an absolute blast, and we're just tons of fired up for it.
Yes. It's going to be my first and last trip to Oakland.
I know, right? Yeah.
And I cannot wait. The tailgate, the whole experience, I cannot wait.
It's going to be
awesome.
Sweet. Going to be awesome. Mosh, when was the last time you were in the Oakland Coliseum?
Oh, my gosh.
Was it the 70s?
I left in the 70s, yeah. Yeah, because I
like an A's game or something?
It was an A's game. It might have been 76.
Wow.
Because I left after I joined the military in 77. And I hadn't been back. I mean, I've been back once or twice for, a vacation or something, but I hadn't gone back to an event at the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of closure going on. Going to be a lot of fun, and so we're glad to be able to be out there. And thank you, first and foremost, to Angela Biletnikoff. She is fantastic.
Yes.
She has been so good to us, and in terms
Tell
of
the story.
Well, so if you like start to finish or what?
Just synopsis, a brief synopsis.
Well, we knew that with this show we had enough of an audience that we could generate revenue.
Right, and we're coming up on the 20th anniversary of I believe it's the 20th anniversary of the death of their child
of Tracy. Yes,
Tracy,
that's correct.
and then that's when it was either in 99 or they started the foundation in 99.
It was 99. That's when she passed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. We were looking for here. I tell you to tell the story, and I jump in.
That's okay.
My
I
bad.
like it. More of you and less of me is a good thing.
So we decided we were gonna, and we kicked around some great organizations. We talked about Wounded Warriors. We talked about all kinds
Raider
of stuff.
Project. There's a lot of them out there.
Ton of stuff. But we thought, what's near and dear to us is Fred Biletnikoff, and the fact that what they're doing is more than just helping people in a domestic situation. They've got some educational things, which is near and dear to me. It's how Jeff and I got hooked up. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff that they offer that we said we need to work with these people. So with that, they were our chosen group that we were gonna present our check to. And as we started nearing it, the three of us were talking about stuff. And we decided that collectively that we should reach out to them and say, hey, this is a real deal. It's going to happen, and pick it up from there.
Yeah, so then I spoke with Angela at first when we first decided that we wanted to partner with them, and we just asked them, can we
give you money?
Can we give you money? Yeah, because this isn't an official Biletnikoff Foundation thing. This is just us giving to a cause, and us giving to this cause on behalf of the Raiders Fan Radio family, which is all of you that are in the chat. Hadn't shouted them out yet. We need to please one of you guys do that here in a sec. Everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's ever bought a shirt from us, everybody that interacts with us on social media and listens and all that good stuff. We just have this awesome community, and so we wanted to give this donation on behalf of the on the Raiders Fan Radio community. And so anyway, so I reached out to her. Of course, she was open to working with us and was so gracious to offer us to, because we were going to attend the event. I said, we want to give this to you. And she said, well, it'd be great if you did it in person. And we were like, okay, that'd be awesome. So when? And so she said, well, because I said it's going to take us close to a year to raise the money. And she said, well, we have the Crab Fest at the end of the year, invited us to attend that, and then invited us to present the check live there. So we'll be up on stage, man. It'll be fun. We'll present the check. And so they've just been awful gracious. In fact, I think there's an opportunity. Well, I know there's an opportunity. We're going to line up schedules, but we're definitely going to talk to her live on this show and probably talk to Fred as
That's
well.
Crazy cool.
It's super cool. So we're thankful for them just sharing their time and recognizing. And I want to, because it's not our efforts, it's your efforts, Raider Nation. It's everything that you all are doing. We're just the conduit.
Yes.
So appreciate you all very, very much for all of you that have supported us thus far. Jeff, you got an interesting couple of tidbits about Fred. Why don't you shout out the chat and then hit us up?
Yeah. So we've got the whole crew in here. We've got the Mater Raider, Full Metal Mexican, Eye Patch, Adam Hill, Matthew. My mom is in here.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and
don't tell me. I don't want to know.
yeah. And Capo's in here.
Just showed up. Nice job, Capo.
Yeah,
is your
Kevin
mom
the
Full
Raider
Metal
nerd.
Mexican?
Yeah. Yeah, so we got the whole crew, Dakota Raider, Chucktown Raider, the whole gang. We've
awesome.
got everybody.
That's awesome.
We've got everybody. But back what you were saying about Freddie B, yesterday marked the 31st anniversary of Freddie B getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah,
that's so cool.
yeah.
Okay,
we love it.
so I got something on that.
All right.
So that's cool. That's really cool.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, I mean, we loved Fred Biletnikoff. I mean,
He's
was
on the short list.
He's always been on my short list.
Right.
You know, and I loved him because he was covered in stickum. I love that. Jeff, you're probably too young to remember that, but they had this rosin stuff that it was like tree sap. And you could rub it on your hands and it would help you to catch the ball.
Oh, so it's the old time, receiver gloves.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't have gloves like that back then.
Gloves.
They had tree sap. And Fred would rub it on his chest and his face and his arms and so who does he introduce it to? Who did Fred introduce Stickum to?
Oh, probably Lester Hayes.
Lester Hayes.
Yeah.
So he introduces it to Lester Hayes. Well, Lester bathes in the stuff.
Oh, Lester!
Right?
I love the old pictures of Lester.
Yes.
He's got it on his socks.
Oh,
he's got it
he's
all over him. Yeah.
Covered in.
I love it.
So in 1981, the NFL says no more. No more. They banned in 81. They banned Stickum, and they called it the Lester Hayes rule.
No, they didn't.
Yes, they did. But who knew that it was Fred Biletnikoff that introduced him to Stickum? So congratulations.
Awesome.
Congratulations. 31 years, Fred, HOF, and you didn't even get nailed with the rule.
Yeah.
I love it, baby.
Even the Fred rule. That's awesome, man. Good stuff, Mosh. Good stuff. All right, let's get started here. So we got so much to get to tonight. We have
Oh my gosh.
tons and tons of audio to get to.
Buckle up, guys. Yeah, it's gonna be
it
it's
really
gonna
is
be a
long one. So hope you guys are in for the long haul. If not, catch us back up on parts 2 and 3 or whatever you want to do. All right, but first off, we always name our episode number. Or refer back our episode number. I still can't get that right. 135 times of doing this, and I still can't spit it out correctly.
You want me to do it?
Yes.
So every episode has a number. This is number 135. And what Murf was trying to say is that Swag Jeff has something that has to do with the numbers 135. Swag, take it away, baby.
That's right.
good,
Yeah.
Mosh.
So I think after 133, 134, I think after social media director and all that, Mosh gave me Murf gave me another job. So now I'm the number guy. I'm the number guy. And honestly, I got a bonus one.
Well,
I'm double dipping.
And we don't do math, but you do.
Yeah, we don't do we do numbers. We don't do math, but you do
I do
math.
both.
You're actually pretty
Yeah,
good.
you were always good.
I'm really good at them.
Yeah. Okay.
So we're gonna
Mosh,
double.
You're the smartest man alive.
Oh, yes.
Virtual swag. making an
Virtual
appearance.
swag. And so, by the way, in the chat, everyone keeps saying, if you look at my swag cam right now, everyone keeps asking if I'm drying my laundry. I love it.
Your captain's blowing in the window.
Well,
with the
yeah.
fan on in the fan cave. And
Well, yeah.
No, but let's talk about that. So you've got stuff that people have sent in.
Oh, my gosh. I got a custom Swag Jeff Raiders shirt. What? I love it. I love it.
You do.
Oh,
my God. We go. Uncle Mosh is going to model for us.
Swag Jeff Raiders.
All right, Swag Jeff Raiders shirt. Here we go. Howie Long jersey.
Yep.
He's got hats. He's been opening packages over
You
there.
got packages and hats and cups.
He hasn't even opened yet.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
He's got at least maybe 5 or 8 hats over here.
Well,
He's
yeah.
got a koozie over there.
You got koozies, you
The
got
whole thing.
More fan mail. You got
Yes.
Raiders Cup,
Oh, my
and
God.
You're infringing in my world.
And he's
Well,
been,
yeah.
and he's been a Raider fan for 8 minutes.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right, give us 135.
So 135. So we're going to double dip. We're going to talk about two greats, two all-time greats.
Come
All
on.
right.
The first one we're going to talk about Marcus Allen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcus Allen. We're going to take it back to 84.
Are we taking it back to the Super Bowl?
I think it's the season after the Super Bowl.
Because speaking of swag, Jeff, look what Jeff got me. Look at this. If you're watching on the YouTubes, it's the Coca-Cola bottle from the Super Bowl.
From the Super Bowl.
From January 22nd, 1984. That's so freaking cool.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
I found it on Facebook Marketplace in Middle Tennessee.
And you know what else Jeff got? I'm telling you, not only is he swag for himself, he swags for us.
I pass it around.
I got a freaking Jack Tatum autograph behind me now for those of you who get on the YouTube. Isn't that awesome?
You're welcome.
Oh, man.
Because
He's
he's got connections. That's why you get the moniker Swag
well, why you
Jeff.
get it, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it that Ron, who monitors everything, he monitors content, he monitors visual.
Yeah.
Ron says, this is the first full-body shot of Uncle Mosh where he had his pants on.
Truth. True
Yeah.
word. True word. All right, give us 135.
Okay. Marcus Allen, 1984 season. He had 18 touchdowns in total for that year.
Okay.
13 rushes, 5 receiving.
Oh, yeah, you
1,
did.
3, 5.
Nice.
Oh, yeah, I love it.
Good job.
I love
good
it.
job.
I love it.
Give him a clap.
What are we
Simon.
doing? Oh, you're trying to clap. Push
Uh-oh.
the damn button.
How come your buttons don't work? My other. You
Oh!
have it. What's it?
You're double
There you
click.
go. There you go. Good
Oh,
job.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, if you didn't like that one,
You got another one.
we got another one.
All right.
Another great.
All right.
2-4, Charles Woodson.
Yeah.
An amazing career as a defensive back, cornerback, the whole deal.
Right.
He did play a little offense.
Oh, come on. with it.
Just a little.
Okay.
In his career for the Raiders, he had 2 receptions,
4.
averaging 13.5 yards per catch, 135.
135. Nicely
yes,
done.
we're going to double dip. Thank you very much. Good
Nice.
night.
And Jeff is gonna he's
And
gonna go
he's
ahead
out.
and pack up his shirts, and he's out.
That's
Well,
it.
yeah.
I'm just glad you said pack up his shirts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Kev is
yeah,
in there saying
yeah.
I'm taking over RFR.
Yeah, well, and you're doing a heck of a good job. That was awesome, man. Good stuff. All right, so before we jump into the big stories of the week, we're gonna do a little respect. We don't do shouts, we don't do props. Nothing wrong with those things, but we do respect here on Raiders Fan Radio. And so, hey, Mosh,
Talk to me.
I know a guy.
You got a guy.
I got a guy. You got a lot of guys.
I got some guys.
I'm getting guys.
Okay.
I got guys in Scotland.
Oh.
I got
Nice.
guys in Scotland. Swag Jeff. This is some swag, and you can't have it.
Oh,
This is Murf swag.
I
So
want it.
I'm holding up to the camera now. It's enough. Can you read that? Can
Yeah,
you
you
read
can.
that, Raider Nation? Okay. So it says, for those of you on the audio version of the podcast, it says Dundee, Scotland, Raider Nation. And this comes courtesy of our buddy Colin out in Scotland. He sent me this really cool sticker of the Dundee, Scotland, Raider Nation. But he also sent for the fan cave over there. I don't know if you can see it to Uncle Mosh's left. There's some Marvel stamps over there, and on Swag Jeff's right, you can't see them; they are off camera, but they are some Star Wars
yes.
stamps
So sweet.
from the Royal Mint.
Yes.
And he sent
That's
a
so
note,
cool.
and he was like, "Hey, I know you got other stuff. You're fans of other things. I thought these would be good compliments to the fan cave." Heck yeah, man.
Yeah.
He hit us with the Raiders, with Marvel, and with Star Wars. Colin, I'm pretty sure we're best friends. I mean,
Well,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, what the heck, man? I'm like, so anyways, I got a guy in Scotland.
Let's keep it on this side of the fan cave, though.
Okay?
Yeah, anything, it's got to be on this side, because anything that goes on that side of the fan cave, he writes his name on the back of it. He writes
Yeah.
JS.
JS, yeah,
Yeah.
Swag Jeff is probably going to go home with him.
Well, yeah.
All right, well, and then one more bit of respect I'd like to give is that, I call him former because sadly, Matt Schneidman has departed working for the Bay Area News Group or departed working for the Mercury News and is now working for The Athletic, which is a fantastic organization, but he's covering the Packers. And so I wanted to give, I know, right? Matt, you're dead to us. But no, I'm kidding. Matt, we thank you for your time. He's been an awesome guest here multiple times on the show, and he was the only reporter we've ever interviewed live. He sat down with me at the Senior Bowl, had a great chat about the Raiders and a great chat about their Senior Bowl experience. And so appreciate Matt Schneidman for his time with us here on Raiders Fan Radio, and good luck to you in the future, my man. Good luck covering the Green Bay Packers. Mosh, tell us what's going on in the chat room.
Chris Potts goes, Murf wants to do karate in the garage with his new best friend.
Absolutely. We're going to build bunk beds. So
Yeah,
Colin,
there you go.
So, Colin, when you visit the fan cave from Scotland, we'll have a place for you to crash. All right, let's hit some contact information. Let's start the show.
All right, boys and girls, pay attention. You got your old Uncle Mosh here with an update. That's right. I got some stuff for you. Take out a piece of paper, a pencil, a pen. Heck, use your pocket knife and carve the info into your dashboard as you're driving down the highway. First off, you need to like us on our fan page on Facebook. That's right. Go to Facebook at Raiders Fan Radio Podcast. Don't forget about the Twitter. You know your old Uncle Mosh, he twits now. That's right. Go to at Raiders Fan Radio. Also, don't forget the Instagram at Raiders Fan Radio. Or what about our website? That's right, RaidersFanRadio.com. Heck, if you want to, you can even email us, show at RaidersFanRadio.com, or call us on the Raiders Fan Radio hotline, 909-345-3346. That's 909-345-3346. Don't forget, Murf's Fan Cave on the YouTube, where you can get all the show links like the Fan Club Blitz with Splatterhead and Fitz. Find all our stuff on podcast providers like Stitcher, iTunes, and Google Play. All right, did I hit the time limit? Good.
All right, Raider Nation. So a feature that we've done here multiple times in our interviews with guests has been, what is your Mount Rushmore? What is your 4 players or 4 people that you think most exemplify the Raiders to you? We spot you Al Davis, then we make you pick 3 more. And it's a tough thing to answer because you're going to leave someone out. There's only so many. Jack Tatum's, Kenny Stablers, Howie Longs, Tim Brown, Fred Biletnikoff, Ted Hendricks, Art Shell, Gene Upshaw, Villapiano. Like, it's ridiculous. Willie Brown, like, it's ridiculous. So to try to pick 3 is a tough thing to do. So it's been a lot of fun. I've noticed that some other organizations have picked up and ran with it and kind of used that question. And so I felt like it kind of ran its course a little bit for what we did with it. And being that, and see somebody else start picking up on it, it's flattering, but it's time for us to innovate and move on to something else. So I decided that we were going to do, from now on, we're going to do this or that. So Uncle Mosh and I, in our RFR's tripping video we did on our way down to the casino, we did this or that, but when we got into the hills and we started hearing banjo music, we lost our connectivity and our feed died. So we really didn't get to hear Uncle Mosh's answers to this or that. So, Uncle Mosh, tonight I have for you this or that. Swag Jeff, we'll do yours in the future, but tonight it's all about the Mosh.
Yeah, it is.
Excuse me while I cough. All right. You ready, Uncle Mosh?
I'm ready.
This or that. So here's the rules to this or that. There is no waffling. There is no riding the fence. There is no, they're both cool. You have to pick one or the other. It doesn't mean the one that you don't pick isn't cool. It just means that you have to pick this or that. So, Uncle Mosh, number 1, L.A. Coliseum or Oakland Coliseum?
Oakland Coliseum.
Daryl LaMonica or Derek Carr?
Derek Carr.
Better nickname, Assassin or Snake?
Assassin.
The Autumn Wind or Raider Nation?
Raider Nation.
Silver or black?
Silver.
Ooh. Marcus Allen or Bo Jackson?
Bo Jackson.
Super Bowl 11 or Super Bowl 18?
Come on.
I know, right? For you, 76 all the time.
Thank
11.
you.
All right. This is might be the toughest one. Charles Woodson or Willie Brown?
Willie Brown.
Whoa.
Okay.
Sea of Hands or the Holy Roller?
Oh, Sea of Hands.
Okay.
I know I did Holy Roller last time.
I'm not a list bully, so I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong, but I might have gone a different direction.
Yeah. I
Chat
don't
room.
And you know what? And I don't care.
Chat room, let us know what yours is too, by the way, because this is the whole fun of it.
Yes.
Let us know what yours are. All right. Bill King or Greg Papa?
Greg Papa is... He's dead to me.
Ooh.
Can't do it.
Can't do it, Bill King. On the field, Tom Flores or John Madden?
John Madden.
In the booth, John Madden or Jon Gruden?
John Madden.
Better tagline, commitment to excellence or just win, baby?
Commitment to excellence.
Ooh, good.
Wow.
Controversial.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Last one. Last game in Oakland or first game in Vegas?
Last game in Oakland.
Oh, nicely done, Mosh. Woo! Kind of goes through the ringer a little bit.
3 seconds, man. I had to do it.
You had to do it.
I had to go because Madden is my era, and I love Gruden. I'm a Gruden apologist. I'm Gruden drunk, we've been called.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Because Madden's he's no longer relevant for that.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He's no longer a relevant Raider issue. So, hey, I'm going to go Madden all the time.
I like it. I like it. That was good. That's fun. And that's, there's no wrong answers. There's no such thing as a wrong answer to that. You just got to pick. Raider Nation, let us know what yours are. And you're going to hear that coming up awful frequent here on our show. So we're going to jump into some training camp. We have lots and lots of training camp audio to get to. Guys, before we jump into this, I got to say this. I am absolutely thrilled with the amount of content that the Raiders have given us so far this preseason and during training camp. Jeff, I want you to hit on this because we were talking about it earlier.
Yeah.
We've been doing this show now. I think this is our 4th season we're going into. We've been doing Raiders Fan Radio. And once upon a time, I used to have to mine content. Like I would constantly be looking for things. It's absolutely ridiculous how much content that the Raiders themselves are giving to us, the amount of content that the reporters are giving to us, and we haven't even started Hard Knocks yet. They're all over NFL Network. There is so much. There's a reason that we got so much show tonight is because we got so much Raiders content, and there is so much content out there we didn't even include.
Yeah.
Because if we wanted to actually, play everything we would kind of normally play, we'd be here for like 6 hours.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
crazy, right?
Yeah.
You've been watching all of it, haven't
so,
you?
And we were talking about this earlier because, I'm all Raiders now, but I just like the NFL, so I follow a few teams on social media and Instagram and stuff. You don't see any of this. I think
it's kind of unique to the Raiders, right?
Yeah. Well, I follow the Titans on Instagram, and I think since training camp started, I think I've seen like 2 videos of actual practice, and like yesterday, I saw 30 from the Raiders.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be a little bit amplified this season because of Hard Knocks and stuff. The cameras are there maybe a little bit more. But it's so great. I mean, they have just really let the fans and the nation really just be, just enveloped in everything they have going on. It's amazing.
It really is cool. And what's so fun about it is that, for, again, going over the past years of doing this show, there was so much speculation. There was so much fan speculation of what does this mean? What does that mean? Where's this going? What really happened? I don't think we're going to have that anymore because I'm telling you, after listening to this show tonight, if you don't know what's going on with the Raiders, then you listen again because we're going to give you everything we possibly can get to. And so let's start off. Let's go with Good Morning Football. So NFL Network's morning show, Good Morning Football had a nice little outlook on what the Raiders are going to be in 2019.
What about the other 3 teams in the division? If you're the Chiefs, you're coming off an AFC Championship berth. I'm scared of the Raiders and this mishmashed roster who are a lame dunk franchise in this team before they go to Las Vegas. If you're the Broncos, we got this new defense, new coach. And then, of course, if you are the LA Chargers, you're loaded as well. The Raiders, they haven't been anything the last couple of years. So I'd say no, I'm not scared of the Raiders. They can still be very good and they can be a formidable team. But fearful? Get out of here.
I agree, Kevin.
Okay.
They're about 12-4 teams. Chiefs, Chargers, they're not afraid of anybody.
I'm going to say yes, though. I mean,
Get them, Kyle.
They have Incognito and Burfict. I'm terrified of them. Of course, yes, I'm afraid. And Mike, you hit on the head. I think what scares teams is just talent. Like, talent is... And Peter, it doesn't matter what stadium they're playing in, where they're going next year, whatever. When they line up and it's 3rd and 12 and they start lighting it up with these new receivers and the rookie running back, I'll put it to you this way. If they can't light it up on offense this year, either Gruden can't coach or Carr can't play. So if one of those is true, I think they'll light it up. I think they have the talent to let things go.
All right, there we go. I love Kyle Brandt's always got our back, man. I love it, and I think he's fair because he's not biased by any means. But I love it that there you hear Peter Schrager talking about like what's he scared about the Raiders. Well, talent. Like the Raiders, if anything, right, Mosh, they've done an amazing job of acquiring talent in this offseason. You mentioned on the way down to the casino.
I did. I said that was one of my big takeaways from the offseason. When you asked me the question, I think. What's my biggest takeaway from the offseason? And it was the recruiting class, the talent, but it was when I called them recruits, I talked about all the people. They didn't necessarily have to be first-year players, but it's the ensemble that they're bringing in. It's all the people that they're bringing in. They're bringing in talent from all over the place.
Yes.
All over the place. Jeff, I want you to tell me a little bit about, you had shared some thoughts with me earlier about AB. In watching a lot of these videos that have been coming out here lately, like all the ones that the Raiders have been showing. We've seen now AB. It was a big thing. Always sat out the first practice. Yeah, big whoop. We've seen him now in pads.
Yes.
We've seen him now what he's doing to fantastic defensive backs like LaMarcus Joyner. Tell me about what you see between the difference between a guy like AB and someone like, Beckham or whoever else.
Yeah. So, so first off, he arrives to training camp, and I think we'll discuss this a little bit later. He came in flashy. He came in ready to go. It was epic. It was epic.
And he's a diva, and it's okay.
And that's all right because he can back it up on the field.
That's it.
He can back it up on the field. But yeah, no. So during all these, seeing all these Instagram posts and all that stuff, I mean, he's going full speed, and he's burning guys. He burned Joyner a couple times, and one got contested, and he didn't catch it, and he was like, I should have come down with that. I should have caught it.
The one he like tips it to himself.
Yeah, he tipped it to himself. But then he comes back and burned him like 2 straight plays in a row. I mean, he's just going
deep in the corner of the end zone, too.
And he's going
beautiful.
full speed.
And who threw it to him?
Derek Carr.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Number
four.
four. The guy with the questionable arm talent downfield.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Put it right on the money.
Yeah.
But yeah. So he's going full speed. Where you see some of these guys like OBJ and and all these guys, and they go half speed during training camp. They don't want to get hurt. They want to get ready. He's balls to the wall, all in, man. And I dig it.
That's cool stuff.
I'm his biggest fan, man.
You are
his
biggest fan.
I'm all about some AB.
I think someone that looks like you ordered their first official jersey, and it.
Oh
on
yeah.
the
There might be an 84 jersey coming. Yeah. And I've already got the 84 shirt.
You got
on.
the 84
So,
shirt.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's pretty funny, but a lot of people earlier on in the chat were writing, I'm going here. I think Q said he's going to Disney World, taking the fam or whatever, and he says, yeah, I'm going to have to try to get some free swag for Jeff. Jeff, just because your name is Swag Jeff, don't think you don't have to share. And don't think that we won't be going through your packages.
Because people are sending you stuff now.
Crazy
thing, Mosh. People are sending Jeff stuff.
I know.
Things show up to my house with his name on it. I'm like, what the crap?
Yeah. Heck yeah.
People are saying good, and that's very thoughtful of you.
Absolutely. But you know what? You can have some of my swag, but you'll have to buy it from me. Just like I bought a Get Made shirt.
That only makes up for the 48 shirts you beat me out of over the
Oh
last 2
my
years.
gosh. Here we go. Oh my God. That's pretty funny. All right, so here we go. Next up, so day one, so we're going to kind of roll through this thing chronologically. So day one, the rookies and the quarterbacks reported.
Right.
Feeling good, glad to be back, glad to see everybody. But more than anything, can't wait to get to work. Can't see what training camp gonna be like.
Yes, this is making sure that
Morel. Oh, this a nice hotel. Cleve, you bought one bag for training camp? Man, you got one bag. Nice little setup.
Ready to get to work, first time in Napa Valley. Ready to get on the field with my brothers, compete at the highest level. Deuce!
How you doing, bro?
Good, how you doing?
Just seeing everything out here, like how it's laid out, is really cool. The football field out here is just, beautiful. You just really hope the best for all this month, and you just get really excited about. Oh my God, Q? How we doing, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? How you feeling?
Good.
You good?
Hunter, how we doing?
Good.
AJ?
We're here in Napa, 6th year. This is awesome. Very excited for this season, very excited for our team. The bond that we've built, the trust, the things that we got going on from OTAs and into mini camp it's exciting because it's led it all to here. And this is where we find out who makes the team, who's going to be with us on the 53, and all that stuff. And man, I can't tell you how excited I am, just to get back to football. No more talking, no more chatter. It's just football, face to face. And let's find out who wants to be a Raider.
I love DC dropping that right there. We're going to find out who wants to be a Raider. That's money. So real quick, Jeff's got some really cool rookie stuff to cover. Before we get into that, I want to play this day 2 of the rookies reporting.
Those first couple of days have been great. I think that me, including all the rookies, are really grateful to just have a couple of days to come out here and get ahead of things and really get into the swing of things. It's our first NFL training camp.
20 huts. Good, right in here. Good. Here we go, huddle.
Coach Buck is getting us really right with everything and the training and everything. So once training camp really gets rolling, then we're going to be ready to go.
Good job, Cleve.
Our defense is super fast. We have a lot more younger guys now. We have new vets coming in, so I think we're going to really shock some people. We're just going to, come out every day and just try to get better every single day.
There you go, Max. Max, good job. You spilling all of it, right? That's better. There it is. Good.
Intensity is picking up just a little bit. Coach Gruden's trying to save our legs and stuff, but kind of ready to get after it.
Good. Hit.
We're not as a family. This is a Raider family. And, I definitely feel the family atmosphere. And, we want to work hard for each other. So it's great. The vets are coming tomorrow, and we're excited about them. We got, a couple days under our belt now, so I think that we're ready for them to come back and, show them, hey, we're going to compete for the job just as much as you are.
Raiders on 3. 1, 2, 3. Raiders.
Coach Brenson Buckner, who you heard in a lot of that, is really coaching these rookies up, and he's awesome, man. I think that we got a lot to look forward to out of that defensive line. Jeff, what do you got there on them?
Well, so Burfict and Marshall, they went on a pretty good rant about the new 2-4. Jonathan Abram.
Oh, about Jonathan Abram.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We're talking about rookies, and we've been saying for weeks that this guy was possibly the steal of the draft.
Absolutely. I'm going to cut you off, but did you hear the thing what Gruden said about him having to move rooms?
Oh, yeah.
No, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, Gruden goes, I might have to move rooms because he keeps knocking on my door wanting to talk about football. When Jon Gruden says, I don't want to talk about football anymore, you're freaking,
yes.
How cool is that? Anyways,
That's
go ahead.
amazing. Yeah, so they have nothing but good things to say about him. Burfict just had to say a couple times, I had to tell him to shut up in the huddle. In the huddle, because he's chirping and excited and fiery and everything like that. Marshall's just he said, man, this guy's gonna be a great. He's really gonna be a great.
Awesome.
And little baby Cleveland, he let the media know that Abram's got a nickname.
Oh,
he's got a nickname. So everyone that did Abram, we're gonna have to cross that off the list because the special teams coordinator, Rich, I don't know.
Basakia.
Okay. Yes. Yeah. He has given Jonathan Abram the nickname Bulldog.
Bulldog.
Nice.
Which I dig it.
I
dig
it.
Too. Yeah. So and a lot of people said that because he's just a Mississippi boy and kind of talks with a country accent, people don't think he's very smart. But Cleveland said he's one of the smartest guys on the field.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'm all about that.
So he's from so him and Paul hang out.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, speaking of foreshadowing.
Yeah.
Pirate 1975 says Gruden prefers nightmares. Y'all see that clip? Not only did we all see it, but here you go.
Everybody right now has dreams, don't they, guys? I said it to the rookies. All right, everybody in the NFL, I have a dream of making it in the NFL. I got a dream of winning a Super Bowl. I got a dream of being in a Pro Bowl. I'm really not into dreams anymore, okay? I'm into nightmares. You guys with me? You got to end somebody's dream. You got to take their job. You got to take their heart. Are you guys clear about this NFL now? We're not trying to go to the Peach Bowl. We're not trying to go to the Gator Bowl or the Bluebonnet Bowl. We're trying to go to the Super Bowl, okay? And to do that, you got to really try to end somebody's dreams. Are you clear on that, Farrell? Okay? I mean that now. So get into that.
I love that. I love that.
That's an all-time clip right there.
That's an all-time.
Oh, yeah.
That's an all-time. And you know what? And look, this is the way that competition works. It doesn't matter what facet of your life or business that you're in. It's the way a capitalist society works. Look, really, if you're going to make it now, you don't want to, do it unethically or you don't want to bash someone down. But at the end of the day, if it's me and you competing for one job,
absolutely.
One of us is going to go home and one of us is going to earn a job. And
only
you know what?
53 are going to make it.
That's exactly right. And if you don't have that mindset that you're going to end someone else's dream, then what are you doing?
And then that translates to the regular season. We're going to be playing as a team, and we're gonna go and
You said go. I gotta go.
But no. So what I'm saying is they're gonna take this mentality of making sure they make this roster, end someone's dream, be the nightmare, and they're gonna go and and they're gonna go during the season. And they're gonna be nightmares for other teams.
Yes,
these guys that
that's a great point. Yes.
Their dream is to be in the Super Bowl, the same dream that we have. But they're gonna crush those dreams.
Absolutely.
They're gonna be the nightmare.
Absolutely, great point, Jeff.
Yes.
That's awesome, man. It's good stuff, man. It's been. God, this is why Gruden. This is why this team is built for Hard Knocks. This is why it's going to be perfect. This is why we're fired up for Hard Knocks. And I think most Raider fans at this point, at least for the feedback that we get here on the show, most folks are fired up about Hard Knocks at this point. And look, I think the whole idea of it being a distraction and all that, it's over. And even in Derek Carr's press conference, and look, we have so much audio to get to. I didn't even feature Derek this week, but
Can I say one thing about Derek? I'm sorry to cut you off.
Jump in, man. Go.
But so during watching all these clips on Instagram, one clip that they had was, I think it was Derek Carr at his house, and he was shooting hoops on his kids' little basketball thing.
Yeah.
And he's talking about football and stuff, and all serious, and he makes a swish and his kid's little plastic thing, and he goes, "Hey, Lakers, hit me up." It was amazing. I love it.
And what was funny about that too is then his brother retweeted that and said he's not joking. Hey, Lakers, he's not joking.
Oh, yeah.
Derek Carr's a huge Laker fan, which, look, we're Warriors fans, so whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. You can stuff that, Derek. We love you, but I hate your fandom when it comes to basketball. But yeah, so great stuff there. So anyway, so in his press conference, where were we at on that? He was talking about. Oh my gosh, I was going somewhere with it. He said a couple of things. Number one is that he talked about being more aggressive with the team, which is something that we had always said. Look, if there's a criticism that's fair to Derek, is that he doesn't take a more aggressive role with the team, and he said he was going to take that role. Oh, I know what it was. Okay, so in terms of Hard Knocks. We said early on, Mosh, when this came up, we said that, look, these guys have cameras on them all the time. They have coaches recording video. They have cameras at the facility. They're always kind of under a certain amount of scrutiny to begin with, NFL Network, you name it, and that just the addition of the Hard Knocks cameras wasn't going to be that big of a jump. And sure enough, that's what Derek said this week. They asked him, has it been a distraction? He's like, not really. He's like, we're already filmed all the time. Which is all the time, right? These guys always have this stuff on them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. I mean, it's you. That's one of the things that they get used to. It's one of the things that they talk about in the rookie classes that they give.
Yes,
you're under scrutiny. You're under the watchful eye. And if it's not cameras that are put out there, it's somebody's phone, Pac-Man. It's somebody's always there with a video. You know, and I bring up Pac-Man because we went through that. We were, I'm not afraid to admit, but I like the Titans. I live in Tennessee. They're not my favorite team. My favorite team's the Raiders. I'm not here doing Titan fan radio, but I like them. So
there's no such thing as Titan fan radio.
Yeah, right.
No,
I mean,
no.
but we lived through that. We remember all that stuff with Adam Jones. And that was one of those things he didn't listen to in that freshman meeting.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and speaking of that, I got to tell you something funny. I'm going to digress for just a half a second before we jump back into this audio. So this last week, Swag and I, we went to, we took my boy and one of his buddies. We went to this event here, this SmackDown event here in Nashville. It was a lot of fun because we like wrestling.
We love wrestling.
We're unapologetic wrestling fans. And so we were talking about it, Mosh. We were talking about, it would be so funny because Jeff is a former Titans fan. He's now a Raiders fan. And we thought it would be so funny that on the show tonight, if he actually took a heel turn and picked up his chair and hit one of us with it and ripped off his Raiders shirt and he had a Titan thing underneath.
Yeah.
Suckers!
Yeah, my brother.
That would have been funny. That would have been so funny.
Yes. So my brother, who is in the Navy, stationed in Italy right now.
God bless him, man.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he's a huge Titans fan and all that, and he's one of my best friends and all that. And I've been trying to convince him to join the Raiders. I've been trying to convince him to join the Nation because I got my dad to do it. And it only took, hey, Dad, you want to like the Raiders? And he was like, yeah, sure.
Do I get a shirt?
Well, yeah. And I can cheer against the Chargers.
I was just going to say, because your dad's one of those San Diego guys that's pissed off because they left.
Absolutely. So, so he went a couple weeks ago to Italy to visit my brother. And he brought a couple Raider shirts and a hat and stuff like that. And my brother said, no, I'll never like the Raiders, which by the end of the season, he will be a Raider fan for sure. For sure. But he was like, no, I don't think so. I'm a Titans fan, whatever. And but my dad left a hat over there for him. Nice. So now it's staring him in the face. So it's only a matter of time.
Nice.
Now.
Well done. Well done. Good job, Woody.
Yes.
All right. So let's jump back into this. So we've got another one for you. Jeff, your guy, you mentioned it. He arrived.
Boy.
Antonio Brown arrives at camp. And Mosh, what is Napa Valley's famous for two things?
Yeah, wine and balloons.
Wine and balloons. And so AB rolled in on an air balloon.
Yeah, he did.
Nice. This is the best one right here. I thought it'd be exciting to switch it up. Napa Valley obviously is known for the hot air balloons. But this camp is so important for this team because, it's a lot at stake. We kind of got to develop our identity. I think it all starts today with the commitment from guys there and everyone there understanding the reason we there and why they putting their hand in the pile, to make the Raiders great again and start today. Oh, Raider Nation, I'm here in Napa. It's time to get to work, baby. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee.
Come on.
Oh, that's so good. Tell me, how do you not love that guy, man? If any of you out there still got questions about Antonio Brown, stop it.
Oh,
Just stop it. He's freaking awesome, man. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee, man. That's so money.
Love it.
So money. All right, so good job, Antonio Brown. And, so the criticism of him missing the first or showing up with a non-football injury and all that evaporated awful quick, didn't it?
Oh, yeah, in about 3 seconds.
Exactly. That was a 3-second story. All right, so let's go to Coach. Let's hear Coach Gruden after they opened up camp with the veterans.
Yes, we have a lot of new players at every position. We are very confident that we've taken some really good steps in building our football team. We need some veterans to come through. We need some young guys to come through. But we do feel like we've gotten faster. We feel like we've gotten bigger. And we've got a lot to prove, that's for sure. Well, it's been exciting, like Mike just said. You got to really be impressed with Farrell and Max Crosby and Quentin Bell, the 3 young defensive ends that we brought in here. Their roles are different. They have versatility. They can go do a number of different things. So I'm really, really excited about that. Trayvon Mullen has come in here and proven that he's going to be a competitor to win a job here. Vontaze Burfict is going to be the straw that stirs the drink. I mean, he's going to be a big part of this defense, calling it, making adjustments. We're hoping Brandon Marshall can be a associate of his. And when you put Tyre Whitehead into that group, we feel like we've improved a position that we have really struggled at over the years.
Straw that stirs the drink.
That's awesome.
That's going back. It's it's credited to Reggie Jackson.
Okay.
Okay. And the only reason that I bring that up is because Reggie, of course, I know he's Mr. October. I know he wore the pinstripes. But he'll always be an Oakland A in my heart. He'll always be an Oakland A in my heart.
Yeah.
So in 1977, they were talking about who the best player on the team was. Captain of the pinstripes was Thurman Munson.
Okay.
Okay. And Reggie was credited in a Sports Illustrated article. I think it was SI.
Okay.
For saying that he was the straw that actually stirred the drink.
Okay.
Because Thurman Munson, if he stirred it, would have stirred it bad. Well, of course, unfortunately, 2 years later, we lost Thurman Munson in a horrific plane accident. And Reggie just now came out with a book.
Oh, no kidding.
He came out with a new book called Becoming Mr. October.
No kidding.
And he talks about that, and he says that never happened. He totally denies that. He says that was made up.
That he never said that term?
He did that was all done wrong. And he said somebody else may have said that about him. And he's not very complimentary of Mr. Steinbrenner.
No, they didn't get along at all.
And he talks about what a racist he was and how he made some anti-Semitic comments. But if you Google it or you do whatever and you type in that phrase, even on it's credited to Reggie, and even on like Foxfire, whatever, there's all these links like I don't know what it's like if you look up. I don't know what the name of it is, but it's like if phrases that are popular today, it still refers to Reggie. But Reggie's saying no, that didn't happen.
Wow,
man. It didn't happen quite like
that. So what does that mean? When
Gruden
says Vontaze Burfict is the straw that stirs the drink, what is he suggesting there?
He's saying he's the guy. He's the guy that makes it happen. So you got all these players, and you got all this talent, and you got this talent pool, and you got all these people that are together, and it's this guy that's going to make it work. It's this guy that you don't want a drink that's just got a little bit of this, and then an ice cube, and then a little bit of this. You want to mix it all together. You want to have an ensemble.
I gotcha.
You don't want to have just a bunch of guys. That's why all-star games suck.
Yeah.
Think about it. That's why all-star games suck.
So do you think that is this a default that Vontaze Burfict is our defensive captain?
Absolutely.
Who else? I'm trying to think who else on the defense I know they'll have a couple, but I mean, like, who's going to be the leader of the defense? Because we talked a lot about that when with Mac's departure, that was a lot of what he took with him was that leadership role that Mac was the straw that stirred the drink essentially on defense.
Sure.
So who is the guy now? We think a lot of Jonathan Abram. We think
right.
We think there's a lot of players that eventually will be that.
Yes.
You know, on offense, it's Derek Carr and it's Rodney Hudson. Like those are your guys on offense. Defensively, though, I think that it's probably, I mean, you would think that for a first-year guy, that would be an awful big role to have thrust upon him, but
he's a veteran guy.
But that's the thing.
He's a veteran guy.
And
our defense is so young that they bring this guy in that he's experienced. He's
got 7 years in this defense.
Yes.
With Cincinnati, because Gunther was his guy in Cincinnati.
Exactly.
Right? So,
exactly. So he's kind of the guy that's teaching these other guys, this is what you need to do in this defense.
In this defense.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, and of course there's always been a little bit of is he gonna, you know?
Oh, is he gonna hit someone in the head and get suspended for 4 games?
Q Dog says Burfict will cuss, fuss, and be concussed.
Hey, man, I like him. Like, you know, I only knew him from a distance. You know, of course, you could say that about any player that, you know, I wasn't an Antonio Brown fan until I became a Raider, right? I wasn't a fan of a lot of, but there are some guys like Romanowski, even Jerry Rice to a certain extent. When they became Raiders, I was like, okay, well, I'm rooting for you because you're a Raider, but I still really don't like you. You know what I mean? But like Burfict, like I didn't really care for him, but I like
him.
I like him, and we got looks, and I got a long chunk of his press conference coming up, and I was going to try to edit it down. I was telling these guys before the show, but there's nothing to edit out. It's gold. The guy is fantastic. I love Vontaze, and so I like that. He's now the straw that stirs the drink, especially on defense. All right, let's go and hear from our GM, Mike Mayock, after the opening couple days. If I can push the button.
Hit the button.
Just press the damn button, nerd.
Welcome to Napa, everybody. But we think it's an awesome place to train. We've got an awful lot done with the young guys this week. I think the thing John and I have been most excited about with the young guys is, you know, we don't know what they're going to be yet. We haven't put pads on, and the vets aren't here. But as advertised, as far as work ethic, mental agility, and passion for the game of football, I think John and I have both really, really been pleased so far with that aspect of it. So having said that, I'll tell you one other thing. I've been to a lot of training camps in my life. I've never seen a greater volume of plays run, and the ability, the mental agility to handle that on both sides of the line of scrimmage over a 3-day period
Mental
was really
agility,
fun to watch.
I like that.
With this young group
cool
of guys.
Term.
So that's kind of where we are, and let's open it up to some questions.
What excites you the most about this team and the small sample size that you've gotten to see so far?
I think it's the energy right now with the young guys. And, you know, John and I have had an awful lot of conversations about these kids and about the passion for the game and setting the foundation and all that. And when you see that the fact that not only did they show up in shape, but they also showed up, they had their heads in their frickin' books, man. Okay, and when John starts going quads empty on the first day and the defensive backs know what the proper adjustment is, it's pretty freaking cool. And that's what we're juiced about.
That's so awesome, man. Going quads empty on day one. That's all. Not only is that amazing that offensively they're doing that, but then the defense knows what to do to react to that. A couple things there. I love the term mental agility. That's going to be now one of my go-to buzzwords in the corporate world. Mental agility is fantastic. But, you know, something that he mentioned there that is good news in that press conference, but bad news over the last couple of days is that he mentioned how the players showed up with their head in their books, with them being in shape. What he didn't mention was that all but one guy, because Chris Warren got cut.
Yeah.
And, you know, we were huge fans of Chris Warren coming into this season. Huge. And, we, you know, I'm bummed, man. I mean, the reason they said that they cut him was that he was out of shape, in which we'd heard rumors about that, and that he didn't know his plays. And look, and I don't care how much you like a guy. I don't care how much talent you have. When you get, and real fast, and I want to hear you, when you get to the NFL, guess what? Everyone's talented. You cannot get away solely based on your athleticism anymore.
Yep.
You've got to put the work in. You've got to do what Antonio Brown does. You got to know your damn plays, and you got to be in shape. And if he wasn't, then shame on him. And I hate that we lost him, but, you know.
As a coach, lifelong coach, one of the things that we tell people is we tell them, you got to be mentally tough. But do we tell people, I know at my level, at the high school level, do we teach them how to be mentally tough? So the mental agility is the part of being mentally tough. So what does that mean? It means you come in knowing what you're supposed to do, when you're supposed to do it. You have an objective, you have an obstacle, what's your adjustment? That's mental toughness. So mental toughness includes, okay, I got to be smart. I got to be in shape. I got to be at my weight. I got to hit the books. I got to hit the weights. I got to do all the things that makes me mentally tough. And some of that includes the physical part of it. And if these guys that are coming in with this, their quote, mental agility are mentally tough, then that's what they want. You take a group of guys that are decent or are better than decent athletes, and they're all mentally tough, they're going to beat a group of superstars every damn time, and it's just going to happen. Anybody that's coached will tell you the same thing. Give me the guys whose heads are in the game because they're mentally tough, because they have done the prep, and they got it.
Well put, Mosh. I got nothing after that.
Yep.
Well done.
Yes.
Give yourself the hit your own button.
Hit that button.
Was awesome. Nice job, Mosh. He's the best co-host in the game right there. All right. So those are the closeout of our rookies, and now the veterans report to camp.
What's up, Raider Nation? This is Tyrell Williams, man. Here at training camp. Excited to get going, man. Let's go, Raider Nation.
What's up, Raider Nation? How y'all doing, man? I hope to see y'all out here. Hope to see y'all filling up the Coliseum. Man, it's going to be a great year. Watch out.
You know, first day of camp, important day. I'm excited, man. We got something special going on. First day back. Let's get it.
All right, and more players reported to camp.
Camp time, Napa Valley. It's beautiful weather. Fired up, ready to go. Going to be very competitive. A lot of big personalities on this team, and I mean that in a great way because I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
See you, bro. Feeling great, man. Special things, man, this year.
It's cool. I'm ready.
Year two, it's just great being back out here. It's a blessing, man, so I'm just ready to go. And gave us a little bag this year. Oh,
Swag.
I mean, you bring no clothes, you heard?
Send him a note, Jeff. Send him a note.
It's go time, baby.
I feel good. I feel healthy. I'm ready to get better and ready to work.
Back with the team and back with the coaches. Hurst, HURST. We got a lot of new pieces, a lot of good players. It's gonna be real exciting.
I'm ready. Raider Nation, let's go.
I need one of those bags.
Yeah, you do.
What do you give millionaires in a bag?
Yeah, I know, right?
A T-shirt, a towel, a sippy bottle.
I don't know. Let's go to the Southern Annex or the Western Annex, the Murf's Fan Cave desk, to our swag expert, Swag Jeff. Swag Jeff, what do you give a millionaire?
Hey, can you find out what's in those bags?
I bet I could.
I'll bet you need to.
I bet I could.
Can we do a Swag Jeff investigative report and find out what they get for swag?
Yes. Well, yeah. Because,
this just in from Swag Jeff.
Yeah. Well, because just to tease, some Raiders have reached back out to me that I've reached out to.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that later.
That's actually pretty cool.
That's a tease right there. Stay tuned for more information on that.
That's because you have stalked them on all social media, and that's why we pay you.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
We pay you by having you pay us for T-shirts.
Well, exactly. Yeah, you give me money, so I give it back. Yeah.
Do you remember when he was Titans Jeff and he beat me out of a T-shirt?
I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what started the conversion, though. The first picture he ever sent me was him wearing a Raiders fan radio shirt with a Titans hat.
Yeah.
That was the first time it planted the seeds, man.
And his lovely wife's going, "Oh, Jeff, just pay him."
Yeah.
Oh, man. Good stuff, man. So, man, it's been it's overwhelming.
Yes.
The amount of content that's coming at us, fast and furious. So Jeff, you are going to have some cool stuff coming up with some of the folks that are there at training camp. Also, we reached out to our friend Pete Koch, former Raider, actually, and an actor. And did you see that the latest commercial he was in is the number one commercial in the country?
Absolutely,
No way.
yes.
His
it's
iPhone
amazing. It's an iPhone commercial. I saw it. I was out of town, and when I'm out of town, I watch the Food Network.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, you do.
And I leave the TV on all the time, and I'm sitting there. It's about 2:00 in the morning. I just got up to pee. I come back. I'm laying there in the bed, and all of a sudden, here comes
Because Pete Koch.
Pete Koch on the television in between diners, drive-ins, and dives. And I'm like, Pete, my man.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah, so Pete, he was at Alumni Weekend, which happened this past weekend. Of course, all the Raider greats are out there. Villapiano, Lester Hayes. I could go on and on and on. You know who they are.
Everybody's Mount Rushmore was there.
Everybody's Mount Rushmore.
Yes.
Exactly. And Pete was out there, so we talked to Pete, and he's going to join us later this week. So we'll have an interview with Pete Koch coming up for you very soon to give us a firsthand report about Raiders training camp and alumni weekend. And so a lot of cool stuff coming. All right, so to close out the first day of camp, quickly becoming one of my favorite Raiders reporters. She's also a member of NFL Network.
Oh, absolutely.
Is MJ Acosta.
Yes.
Wonderful.
She's fantastic. Easy on the eyes as well.
Yes.
Hey now. And she's a great reporter, man. So it does an awesome job reporting on the Raiders. And so she teamed up with James Jones, former Raiders receiver, and this was their report on day one.
Good morning, guys. Well, yep, AB will not be practicing today with the team, now on the non-football injury list. But we actually saw him walk in just a little bit ago with all the swag that he usually carries. Gave a big old swag for James Jones
love that
here.
girl.
So the energy is still very much there. We would anticipate him still working out, probably off to the side. But training camp here in Napa, the Raiders, there's that little extra sizzle in the air, I would say, James.
It is, because I walked in the locker room and the buzz is different. I'm trying on helmets and pads because I want to get back out there because the buzz is just different around here. But no, they're excited. And then when we're watching all these guys walk in, the Raiders have a lot of depth on this football team. I'm excited to see how they're going to look out here today. But listen, no worries about it, AB. He walked out here with a pep in his step. He'll probably get his work off to the side. No worries. He came in on the hot air balloon. He's going to be fine. But the excitement around here, you can feel it. As I walked in the locker room, I'm like, they ready to go, talk to Derek Carr, and they're excited about this season.
Well, and you can see sort of the guys, even you were a little struck by, man, these guys look in shape, they're fit. Everyone has been working their tails off this offseason, especially through the offseason program, as Jon Gruden mentioned yesterday. And you see guys like 4th overall, Cleveland Farrell. He was the first guy out on the field here as the guys start to hit the practice field and get warmed up for today. And it's that work ethic that both Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock have been looking forward to.
Whatever they are feeding these boys, I need some because I'm seeing triceps popped out. No, they're walking around here like they're going to be the big bully. And as they all walked in here, we're looking at them like, man, these boys are huge. They're big, and they looking like they're ready to fly around and run. So, hey, memo to the NFL. The Raiders is going to come out there and try to play this bully football, so get ready. There's some big boys out here.
Gruden said yesterday they are looking to get back to that old Oakland Raiders mindset, that mentality, that commitment, that grit. That's exactly what we saw today.
All right, so
the chat is
the
killing
chat room
us.
is on fire.
Killing us.
So all the laughter you're hearing is not us laughing at MJ or James Jones. It's us laughing at your comments in the chat room. We're freaking away. Go ahead, Mosh. Give us a live update of what's going on in the chat room.
It all started with eye patch, and he goes, when Murf mentioned her, his glasses fogged up, and so we all commented on that and how funny and that was great. And Murf responded with, "That's not all fogged up, waka waka." Well then, and then Q-Dog.
Don't let me go get my lightsaber again.
Q-Dog the Capo, he says, it's 8:40 p.m. Central Time, and no one gives a beep about Amari Cooper.
You're right about that, Capo.
Ain't that the truth?
Amari who says Super Duper.
Amari, I never heard of her.
Yeah. Hey, here you go. This is for the YouTube audience. So, Jeff, who was that we just heard from?
What?
Who's that we just heard from, Uncle Mosh?
Oh, AJ.
MJ.
MJ
Acosta.
MJ Acosta. We just from now on we're gonna refer to her as MJ Lightsaber.
I think I just killed Swag. With that.
Oh my God, you're killing me.
All right, here we go. All right.
Eye patch goes boing.
I'm sorry, that's terrible.
Oh my gosh,
that's terrible. Lowbrow humor here. Only you can get from us here at Raiders Fan Radio.
Hey, at least we didn't go into a Mosh poop story.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of them.
Oh, there's plenty of those. Absolutely. All right, so up behind me here, you see the number 45. You see Marcel Reece, one of my all-time favorite Raiders, and he was so gracious to add a game. Signed my jersey. That was the last time I wore that jersey was when I saw him at the end zone, and he signed that jersey. He's such a great guy, just an awesome Raider. And so he was there at training camp during alumni weekend, and this was his report on the Raiders.
He is ahead of that quarterback class that's the youth that's going to take over this league. And when you add a guy that is arguably top 2 to 3 receiver in the league, an unbelievable talent, unbelievable work ethic, along with one of the greatest football minds that this generation and the past generation has ever seen, the potential is unbelievable. Obviously, there is a lot of work to be done. But I have a ton of confidence in DC. I always have and always will. He puts in the work, and he has faith in himself, confidence in his team. And when you have all those attributes, the sky's the limit. Myself, when I look at backs, I evaluate their versatility. I evaluate whether or not their game will transition into the pros, and his will. He's actually one of the few that I feel that will, just because of the fact of his versatility. He catch the ball, he blocks, and he's willing to do anything for his team. He has the it factor, personality-wise, that is mandatory when you go to that running back room. He just has a sense of a dog in him, and that's what you need.
I love that. He's got a sense of a dog in him.
Yes.
A guy like Marcel, he's talking about the versatility of the team. I mean, he was the ultimate versatile player. I mean, he was the mismatch nightmare, and so that's so great to hear from Marcel, and glad to see that he's spending time with the Raiders once again after that little stint with that team up there in the Pacific Northwest when he closed out his career. We'll pretend that won't happen. All right, let's hear from our offensive coordinator, Greg Olson, and his training camp press conference.
So you guys cut Chris Warren. What was the issue there? What you guys weren't?
Well, we just want to bring James Butler in, and there's certain standards I think that we have here. And
hold on a minute before he gets it. Didn't James Butler get cut too? I saw. Did he get signed and cut again right away?
Yes, he did, didn't he?
He did, I think.
Okay.
Will you check on that, Swag? I think they cut Chris Warren, signed Butler, and I'm pretty sure he got cut again already. I don't know. See if there's a corresponding move there. I'll let Olson play out.
We expect a certain level of professionalism with our players coming in and
Sugar Shane, he says he did.
Fitness-wise, expectations that we had, and he didn't meet our fitness expectations. So we tried to make a change.
JJ Nelson can move a little bit. That speed element, is that part of the attraction?
Yeah, that was a big reason as to why we signed him. One of the faster wide receivers in the league, and he still certainly shows it today.
So much was made around what's been around Derek now, what they put around him. Do you feel there's an inherent sense of him to keep proving himself, though?
I think that he has an expectation again every day of playing at a high standard and executing at a high level, and certainly he's happy that we've added some pieces around him. But I don't think that changes his mindset. He's always going to try to get better every day and play at a high level. But it makes it a lot easier when you do surround him with the better players at every position. I think we've done that. So. He's had a good camp. He had a good off-season, OTAs, and June mini camps. He had a great start here to training camp. And but again, those are the expectations that he has himself and that we have of him as a coaching staff.
All right, good stuff from Coach Greg Olson. I got the good fortune of attending the Senior Bowl this past year, Mosh, and as you know, and I'm sure many of our listeners remember hearing me talk about it because I've talked about it nonstop because it was an amazing experience. Greg Olson was the nicest guy.
I remember you saying that
the nicest
times.
I met him. I met Coach Gruden. I met Brenson Buckner. I met Gunther for a minute. I met Mayock. I mean, Olson was the only one that stopped and engaged. Everybody else was very kind. They were all nice, and we, just niceties kind of thing. Hey, can I get a picture kind of thing. Olson was the only one that was like, hey, who are you? Where are you from? What's Murph's Fan Cave? Like, tell me about your podcast.
Nice.
Like, I mean, super, super cool guy. And so glad to hear what, not only what his experience has been so far with the team, but I'm encouraged, man. I think that it's so cool to see Derek Carr coming into the second year of an offense, which has happened very few times in his career. And so, you know, the playbook is way opened up in his, I think it was Derek that said it this week that, you know, when you look at, normally when he's started training camp, the installs have been this big and that the existing plays have been this big. Now the installs are this big and the existing plays are this big. And that's terrible me doing hand gestures on a podcast. So for those of you in the audio version, you just got to know that there is a lot less installs and a lot more existing plays this time around. And so these guys are going to totally be on the same page. And Olson is a big reason for that. We know that Gruden is the man in terms of the offense, but Olson's the one that's executing it and sharing the vision. And so it's great stuff. All right, let's move over to the other side of the ball and let's hear from Tyre Whitehead. And then back to offense and hear from Jalen Richard, who now with Chris Warren being gone and James Butler being out of it.
Yeah. He's fighting for a backup spot, huh?
Well, yeah, and it looks like, you know, we're going to have 5 running backs probably. We hope Keith Smith will be one of them because we're a big fan of his.
Absolutely.
And then the other 4, so we're looking at, Doug Martin.
Yep.
We're looking at Josh Jacobs, Jalen Richard, and DeAndre Washington.
Yes.
I think that could be the 5. So we'll see. And so we heard from Jalen and follows his comments up to Tyre Whitehead.
First day, you know, getting back into the groove as always. Got to knock the rust off. But all in all, it was good. It was good to see, you know, guys hit the ground running, passion and enthusiasm. You know, it was contagious today.
The energy was cool today, man. Everybody came out here ready to work. We got weapons everywhere. I'm excited for what we got going on this year. We just got to come out here, put in the work every day, put it together, and just believe in ourselves, man. We got everything we need. No doubt.
First day of camp and the Hard Knocks people being here, and you're seeing the shirts all over, and those guys doing all what they do.
I mean, it's cool. You know, I love watching Hard Knocks growing up. You know, it's just crazy that we're going to actually be in that situation.
What do you tell them? Appreciate everything you do.
It was loud, yeah. They was tuned in from the beginning to the end. It's a long practice. Got pretty hot. Shout out to them for locking in like we did for 2 hours plus, and we appreciate the energy.
So we heard from a handful of players there, actually. But did you catch there the kid? Did you hear? He said,
in the background, yeah.
Thank you, Carr. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
Because Derek took time to sign autographs for everybody. Hearing that kid's voice reminded me. Did you guys see the video? And it doesn't play well audio, so I don't have audio from it. Did you see the video of Antonio Brown's son and Derek Carr's son?
Yes. Yeah.
They set up their own cones, and were running a cone drill. And Antonio Brown's son ran a pattern, turned around, and Derek Carr's son dropped a dime on him, man. Caught a perfect little pass.
Yeah.
And took out.
The first Carr to Brown reception was their kids.
Yeah. I love it. They're like 4. Like, it was amazing.
It was
so
incredible.
Good.
Yeah,
I love
it.
Yeah, that was so cool.
That's on the YouTube?
Yeah, it's well, probably their Instagram. Jeff, is that where you saw it? I think that's where I saw it.
I saw it on Instagram. Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. So speaking of Derek Carr, you notice we haven't featured a lot of Derek Carr audio because we typically feature Derek a lot, and we're gonna have a lot of Derek going forward. So we really wanted to kind of lock in on some of the other players, but you can't not talk about Derek Carr because he's the guy that's the captain of the team. And he crashed the set of NFL Network. NFL Network was on location there in Napa, and his brother was on the panel there doing live reporting. And so DC crashed the set there and talked to his brother, Dave.
I think that Mike Mayock has been, Derek's best friend. So, you're just talking about the infusion of new talent and what they've done with.
There he is.
Oh, of course.
I knew you.
He's come in, dude. We were just about to talk about all your new toys.
Oh, gosh.
All the new things that you have to play with.
What
are you drinking? Berry smoothie?
It's not a Chardonnay.
I told you what was in here. Is that the secret sauce?
I told you what was in.
Oh, interesting. That's how you get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and be okay. Gotcha. It makes sense.
Let me know if you find a Merlot smoothie out here. That'd be really nice.
Yeah. How you guys doing?
We're great.
So we were literally just talking about all your new toys, but it's pads. Full. You're excited. Full pads today. I know quarterbacks get super amped up.
Quarterbacks are live today.
Extra live.
There's
Good.
no red jersey
Really?
for you?
No red jersey. Even though if you do,
See if you can take a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to find out, right? It's college football again.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, thanks for stopping.
Come on, we got to see the connection.
I mean, I'm sure you'll see him. Just know the connection's there.
All right.
We've been working.
That's what I'm talking about right there. Little appetizer.
Good to see
on
your
what's
sleeveless again.
What's to come.
Give us a flex while you're at it.
You're always sleeveless.
I was just going to ask
always
that.
sleeveless. I love it. I respect that. It's great. I respect that.
That's awesome. That's awesome. The family affair here in Napa, and I mean, we'll have a full conversation with your brother a bit later.
All right, good stuff there from Derek Carr, and we'll hear Mariucci on there. A couple things that came up there that I think are funny. Number one, yes, Derek Carr never wears sleeves, and so I think it's funny that we should get, or like we have Derek Carr stuff. You have a shirt. I have the jersey.
Yeah, I
You have Derek Carr
got a shirt.
We should cut the sleeves off it when we wear it. I think that would be
yeah.
hilarious. Yeah. So Derek Carr never have sleeves, but also they were joking about quarterbacks being live, and they were joking about, it's like college football, taking hits and whatever. But they really are going to start incorporating Derek Carr into running the football more. He's a super athletic guy. And I don't know if you've ever seen any of the pictures of him like at Fresno State and stuff. Like the guy will launch into, like back when he was in college, would launch into the end zone like, he's like 5 feet in the air, vertical, like flying. Like he's an amazing athlete. And early on in his career, one of the things that I compared him to was Aaron Rodgers. And not in a way that's like, they're not the same guy, and obviously Derek Carr is much less accomplished, but in terms of like footwork and escapability and able to throw on the move and all that, very reminiscent of someone like Aaron Rodgers. Don't you guys think, Mosh? What do you think?
Absolutely. Well, did you got that, or do you want me?
Go ahead, Jeff.
Go for it. Go for it.
I was just going to say, some of these guys, they see somebody that something that works for them. It's like we always say there's no secrets in the NFL. If you can see somebody that does something cool and you can emulate that, that's an awesome thing.
Absolutely. And his favorite quarterback was Brett Favre. That's why he wears number 4. Well, what was he famous for?
Exactly. So if you've got the skill sets to do that, why not try it?
Absolutely.
I think it's great.
I think it's great too. Jeff, you got anything on that?
No, Mosh said it all.
That's it,
yeah,
man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm stoked for him, man. I think that's definitely one of his strong suits, and I look forward to seeing what he can do there. All right, so let's go to a lot of, I don't want to say controversy, but a lot of discussion around the idea that we signed Trent Brown in the offseason, a former left tackle for the New England Patriots, Super Bowl champion, and we brought him in, and he's going to be a right tackle. And so a lot of the conversation from Raider Nation has been, well, why would we pay all this guy, all this money to be right tackle when we got Colton Miller over there? Like, why not move Colton over? Well, here's Trent Brown to tell you why.
Played left tackle at a really high level last year. Coming back to right, how does your experience at left help Colton when you're mentoring him?
Tackle is tackle. They got great rushers on both sides. I can just give them the best knowledge that I have and share it with all the guys, and hopefully we can get the whole group to be better. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to harbor any information. I'm trying to share it with everybody, and so we can win. That's the sole focus, sole main goal.
What kind of things have you been helping him?
I think Colton has it all. He just has to get it in his mind that he has it, and just have the confidence in himself to go out and do it.
All right, I love that there, and I'll tell you why. Mosh, I want to hear from you on this. Tackle is tackle is what he said. And last year, when players were moving around from side to side, the response from a lot of our fan analysts were, well, playing right tackle versus playing left tackle is like getting up on the other side of the bed. It's like doing things opposite. It's tough to learn and whatever. And I'll give Chuck, our host of the Fan Club Blitz, credit. He said this. No, it's not. It's like brushing your teeth with the other hand. It's not that much different. What do you think about that? Tackle is tackle. Trent Brown told us right there. So what do you think?
I think it's a mindset.
Boom.
I think if you come in only playing one position your whole life, and then you're told you're going to be changing, you either embrace it or you fight it. And if he's told this is how you make the Raiders, this is how you make the 2020 Super Bowl championship team, then that's what you do.
Yes.
You get it in your head that you're gonna play this position, and if you need help, you get coached up.
That's it. And he said, when he said tackle is tackle, and Jeff, talk about this. There's pass rushers everywhere. It's not exclusive to the left side.
Yeah, well, yeah, you look, we've had several players that you have to move them around the line because that's how they get their advantage. So the offensive guys are doing the same thing.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's a ton of players in this league that can play every position on that line because they have to.
Right,
I mean,
somebody gets hurt.
Exactly.
You send somebody
exactly.
else in.
So you think a guy like Trent Brown, he can play tackle, he could play guard, he could probably play center. You know what I mean? Because he's probably done all this stuff before. I mean, you look at a lot of these guys in high school and stuff. I mean, wide receivers that used to play quarterback and all this stuff like that.
Absolutely.
I mean, right. These guys are athletes.
World-class
they're
athletes at that,
And
yes.
And a guy like Trent Brown is not going to say, "Well, sorry, I only play right tackle." And no, he can do whatever he wants to do.
Do whatever he wants to do.
I mean,
Absolutely.
because he's a stud.
You know,
and hey, go ahead.
No,
Sorry.
you go.
No, well, I was going to change the subject. Go ahead.
That's all right. That's fine. I'll just bring up one. I'll just tag with one point.
Go for it.
Mongo Feliciano, who's not with the team anymore, but he forever played guard as a Raider. And guess what? He was the backup center. When Rodney Hudson got hurt, he moved over and he played center. So you're right. These players are awful versatile. And going from left tackle to right, when you're a world-class athlete and you're literally the big show, when you look at the way Trent Brown is physically, when you look at all these films that have been coming out this week, he's going up against Max Crosby in one of these things. And look, Max is a rookie and he's got a lot to learn. But that first punch from Trent Brown, Max Crosby's like, what is he, 6'5", 260 or something like that. And he not only is he dwarfed by Trent Brown, but Trent Brown rocks him. I mean, just flat out rocks him with that first shiver, man. And it's like, look, that translates. It doesn't matter what side of the line you're on. That same move, that same punch is just as effective, and it just doesn't matter. So I loved hearing that from Trent. Tackle is tackle.
Yes.
Go ahead, now change the subject.
Yeah,
Thomas.
okay, yeah. Now, so Raiders Fan Radio, we're all about live updates on the league and our team.
Yes.
So I just got a notification about a minute and a half ago that because they've been doing the NFL Top 100.
Oh yeah.
AB just came in at number 7.
Ooh.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah. Yes. So just had to throw that in.
I wonder, and if you want to do some homework, another Swag Jeff investigative report.
And that may be top receiver.
Well, I wonder if that's the highest we've ever had. I wonder where Mac, I know he was on the short list one year.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the highest a Raider has ever been on NFL Network's top 100 players. Yeah, that's great stuff, though. So AB coming in at number 7
yes.
Before he ever takes a snap with the team. That's good stuff there.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the audio, and let's hear from Big Brother again, David Carr, telling us about Derek Carr's mindset.
What is Derek's mindset in this year 2, David, as he gets a year under his belt with Jon and how they feel about?
Well, it's the comfort level of the offense, and so when he's out there working with guys, they do a lot of no huddle stuff. They do a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage because you got to think about it. All these guys, we're talking about all the new toys that they have, but they've never really worked together. Like his leading receiver, Jared Cook, is now in New Orleans, and that was a tight end. So all these guys, all these skill position guys are all different. Hunter Renfrow, Antonio Brown, Tyrell Williams, Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. I mean, he's very limited in the amount of reps he has live with these guys. So when they're working together, it's a lot of verbiage. It's a lot of just mental reps and getting on the same page, making sure guys know the right routes, because as much talent as they do have, they still haven't been in a situation where they've got to do this live a ton. So there's a lot of teams around the league with a lot more experience together, working together. They got a lot of work to do, especially in this training camp.
David, the OTAs practices really are limited.
Yeah.
Limited amount of time together.
Yeah.
How much work privately has your brother done with these new toys, these new receivers, whether it be in Fresno or somewhere else?
Yeah, a significant amount. So I think the guy he works with the most is Antonio. So I think that when we talk about him not being out here right now, Antonio Brown's a tireless worker. You have two of your best players or your hardest workers, you're going to be in a good situation. So they've gotten a ton of work, and that's been good. But then other than that, so Derek actually brought a lot of these guys out here that I've seen about 3 weeks ago. He brought them out to the house, and they worked for about 3 days nonstop. They went out on the field, and they just went through their offensive system, threw routes together, and it was good work, but it was needed work because they haven't had a lot of time, like you said.
Yeah, and look, that's one of the things we're going to look forward to watching when the Raiders get out on the practice field.
All right, Mosh, you've been saying it all show, really past few weeks, that, the acquisition of talent is almost unprecedented. I mean, Al did an amazing job a lot of years putting some pretty talented football players together. But I think the thing that's different now, and I want to hear your thoughts on this, don't you feel like they're gelling? Like, it's not just a bunch of superstars. You mentioned earlier that you can have a bunch of superstars, but if you're not all in, if you're not all focused, if you're not bought in, like, it doesn't matter, right? You can have a dream team, but it doesn't matter. Don't you feel like they're already starting to gel? Like, they're doing all these offseason programs, like, right?
I think there's a couple things that you got to look at. Other teams do that. Other quarterbacks will bring their guys that they're going to throw to. Other folks do that. I think where we've stepped up and stepped out and our outside the box thinking is, in the past it was Al. And, God rest his soul, he was Al. He did what he did. But our acquisitions now, when you look at Mayock isn't just doing these on his own. Mayock has got Gruden in his ear. And I think I'm not
even Gunther,
I'm not,
right?
And exactly, and I'm not disparaging what Al did, but I'm saying that the fact that Mayock is going to say, hey, let's have a meeting. Let's talk about who we want to go get. Let's look at the big picture. When Al would do that, he might have one or two people that he might talk to. We don't know, but I'm sure he did. You don't get that successful on your own. But
we know Kingdon and we know John Herrera, and we had some confidants.
Yeah,
but you're right. But ultimately, it was Al.
But ultimately, it was Al, and Al took all the credit, and Al took all the blame. But these guys are this collective group that are saying, we need to bring this guy in because he's good in the locker room. We need to bring this guy in because he's got experience. We need to bring this guy in because we can coach him up. Yeah. These are the things. Let's make all these puzzle pieces work.
Yes. Well, you look at Mayock and Gruden. They were both in the media, so they got to see the entire league all the time.
Great point.
You see a guy like Mayock that was doing fantasy football, so he knows where these players are good.
Right.
And then you got a guy like Gruden doing Monday Night Football. He was
literally breaking down every team in the NFL.
His Gruden grinders and all that stuff. So now he's making a team full of Gruden grinders.
Sure. And
you know what I mean?
Yeah, a team full of Gruden.
Well put, Jeff.
Right?
Yeah. There you go. Excellent point.
It's true. It's Watts Raider says it's a collective effort that we have. And,
yes. It's a brain trust, right? Versus before when it was a one-man show.
Exactly.
I totally agree. Great point, guys. Good job. All right, so let's go. Let's hear one more before we get to not one more. I almost said we're going to get to one more before we get to three more. That's just dumb. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Let's get to NFL Network's report on day 2.
Hey, wait. Ron says, I think if the Raiders win the Super Bowl this year, the made men need to draw a random number and get that player tatted on them.
I'd be about that.
I'm in.
I'm all in.
Deal. I need another
Even
Raider.
if we don't, I might do that anyway.
I know, right? Yeah. I need another Raider tattoo. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. All right. Let's go out to NFL Network day 2.
So if there's one thing, as I've been just kind of doing a little research here on the early portion of Raiders camp, a couple of practices in the books now, the one thing I've seen over and over again is the comfort and the confidence of your brother, Darren, here, now in year 2 with Jon Gruden.
Well, I mean, I think that it comes from a lot of things. I think the new pieces that he has that Mike's brought in to give him some hope. Honestly, like when I talked to him last year, heading into the season, there were some holes in the lineup, some rookie tackles, not a lot of guys on the outside to throw the ball to. That's changed drastically now with some veteran presence at tackle and now they have depth there, right? So they feel good about the offensive line, and now he has guys that can really stretch the field and they can move around. They're having fun with it. They're ready to play and get on the field. They want to show everyone the kind of work they've put in.
Is that something that sounds familiar to you for a quarterback, knowing this system here, Mooch?
Second year in a system is like night and day, right?
Yeah.
I mean, last year it was a new language for him, and then it was a new voice. And Gruden's voice is different than everybody else's voice, right?
No doubt.
So this year there's some familiarity with Greg Olson too, and like David said, weapons galore, and it's just a better football team right now. They got a lot of catching up to. It's a tough division, but right now this team in training camp is much better than last year's team.
Yeah, no question. And look, we are awaiting the official full practice debut of Antonio Brown. He is now available after coming back off the NFI list here, so we'll see if that happens today. But in the meantime, there have been rave reviews over another veteran receiver that's come in, Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
David, I'm sure you can speak.
Well, I mean, So when he was signed, honestly, I thought it was the biggest signing of the offseason for the Raiders. Obviously, you get Antonio Brown, but if you just have Antonio Brown and you don't really have anyone else to draw coverage or to beat one-on-one or to really dominate one-on-ones on the other side, it makes it difficult. As soon as they signed him, he actually came out and worked out in my backyard with Derek and a couple other guys for 2 or 3 days, and just watching him move around, I was really shocked at how fast he is at the size that he is. I mean, the guy is incredibly fast down the field. He feels like that's his biggest weapon, but then the target and the catch radius that he has, you can see why he kept Mike Williams in Los Angeles on the bench. Right. Mike Williams, a talented player from Clemson, right, wasn't even able to really get in that number 2 spot with the Chargers because of Tyrell Williams. Exactly.
I mean, was there room for Tyrell to run in the backyard? If we mind that backyard out, what are we talking?
It works for high school kids in junior high, but then you get those guys out there, it's like 4 or 5 steps, and they're in the fence. So it's like, all right, we need some more space.
So I love to talk about Tyrell Williams.
Yeah.
You know, this is a guy that when Keenan Allen was hurt at the Chargers, Tyrell Williams turned in a 1,000-yard season. Like he's legit number 1, and the Raiders targeted him to be their number 1 before Antonio Brown became available.
Right.
And then when Antonio Brown became available, they both agreed they would share the role. Yep. So you're not going to have, even though we talked and kind of joked about Antonio Brown being a diva and really didn't even joke about it, he just is, but it's not a selfish approach. He's not gonna, these guys are going to be okay with the way this offense is going to work. And then to cap it off, then you got Darren Waller now playing tight end who takes the place of Jared Cook. Mosh, you and I have been on him for a long time. He's the grandson of Fats Waller, famous jazz musician. And all the reports out of camp are like that Darren Waller is electrifying. The guy's like, I forget how tall he is, 6'4", 6'5".
Yeah, he's a big guy.
The big guy, fast as heck, runs a 4.4. Just an awesome tight end so far. Now, again, it's camp, so we don't know. We'll see when we get to the game speed and into the preseason. But man, I'm telling you, this offense is going to be it's legit, man. There's so many targets.
It's so crazy good. I mean, and I think all these guys are going to help all the guys' stats are going to be good. I mean, they're all 1A, 1B, 1C. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So you got Antonio Brown, you got Ty Williams, who was totally overshadowed this offseason after it was a huge signing, but then when they sign AB, this guy kind of
falls out. Fell in the spotlight a little bit. Sure.
But then you got Renfro and you got Waller. And then, we've got Luke Wilson that we signed to. I mean,
we got all the tight ends.
Oh, my gosh. We do.
Yeah, we got all the tight ends.
It's going to be amazing.
It's going to be amazing. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's go to this is where Murf takes his pee break. Because, look, I mentioned Vontaze Burfict earlier. And I mentioned how big of a fan I'm becoming of his. And he did his press conference. This is about a 3-minute or so chunk of his press conference. A lot of these I cut down. I'll go through and kind of take the cliches out and the kind of the things that are,
player talk.
Yeah, exactly. I'll take those things out and look for the meat of it. Well, all of his press conference was awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and let that thing roll. If I'm not back in time, y'all jump in on it. Here's Vontaze Burfict on day 3 at minicamp. Or not minicamp, training camp.
Any questions? I'm waiting.
Was it nice to get the pads on, and how valuable is the practice film from these padded sessions as you guys evolve as a defense?
It's great. You get contact now. You get collisions and stuff like that. So it's obviously football time. It's exciting to be out with your teammates. Getting to see what everybody's heart is at. Because obviously with no pads, there's different type of players. You see what type of physical players it is with the pads on. So. Our safeties made great plays today, and you want a great aggressive safety, so I'm excited for this year.
Going from the off-season program to the training camp, are you seeing the type of retention that you wanted to see schematically from the guys?
Yeah, man, this is a great team. We have great talent, great leaders, great team chemistry. On and off the field, guys. Everybody getting along, and we want to see the best for the guy next to you, and. I think the great job we're doing right now is great communicating. Even if somebody messes up, the other player in the back end still has them because we're all communicating. So it's all 11 working together and just making sure the offense obviously gets better as well.
You take us back to your rookie year. What was your relationship like with Paul Gunther?
It was great, man. It's actually like a father-son relationship. Good trust relationship. Never told me nothing wrong. So it's obviously somebody like that you want to, listen to them and make sure you're doing the right things for them. So on my play, I always make sure that I was doing good because obviously that was my coach. So
Coach Gruden said that you're going to be the straw that stirs the drink on defense. What do you feel about your role on defense?
Just got to be a leader, man. Got to make sure I'm doing everything right, all the little things right, because obviously people are looking up to me and you know, encouraging others just like they encourage me. So just making sure I'm doing everything right, making sure they understand the play calls, putting the guys in the right position. Obviously, because I'm the linebacker, so I can see the formation that the offense is in and putting my D-line in the right gaps before the play, just being the quarterback of the defense.
We didn't see a lot of Brandon Marshall during this.
It's great. You know, he's a vet, too. He's been in just as long as me, I believe. Obviously, just a different defense for him, but he's a smart linebacker, great instincts. You know, since he's my game, you know, if you're not talking football, if you're not thinking about football, then what are we here for? So, like, a lot of guys want to watch film with me to see how much I know, and like I said, it keeps me sharp because at the same time I'm coaching them, I'm coaching myself. So I enjoy it. I enjoy being a leader, and I just want all 11 to think the same way, and we're out there so we all can play fast.
You got guys coming in watching film?
Well, they want to watch film with me, sit down, wanting to watch film with an older guy, so it's kind of exciting for them to want to watch film with me.
You guys went against your offense today. What does Trent Brown bring to that team?
Man, he's a big wall, I'll tell you that. They actually ran a press my way, and he came up to me, and I fought off of him. I lost vision of the running back because he was so big, but I'm excited for him, man. I call him he has a baby face, so I call him a big baby. Don't tell him that, though. But yeah, he's a great player. He moves pretty fast to be that big, and yeah, can't wait.
Does Abram, as a rookie, remind you
of me?
Yourself?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He talks a little bit more than me, though. Sometimes we gotta tell him to shut up in the huddle, but
there you go.
Other than that, yeah, he backs it up. So you can talk as much as you want as long as you back it up. And you gotta start catching these picks, man. I told him. He said $1,000 for every pick he dropped. So right now he has $2,000 in the pot.
That's awesome.
Nice.
So did you guys see the video with Abram where, because after Burfict said that look, you got to start catching these picks. And, you know, Abram wasn't been known as like the ball hawk, right? That's more the LaMarcus Joyner role, right? Like more the interception guy. But so Abram, on one play, I don't remember who the receiver and the defender were that were matched up one-on-one, but they were working their way downfield. Pass was in the air, and then out of nowhere. Did you see this, Jeff?
Yes, it was unbelievable.
Flashes 24, and
yes.
boom, and then there he goes and takes
and he
off.
lost his mind. Yeah. He like spiked the ball and was dancing around and all that. It was epic. Oh, it was so good.
It was so good. Yeah, so we got a lot to look forward to with Jonathan Abram. And so tell me a little bit, Mosh, what do you think about that leadership from Vontaze right there? Like what?
Well, I like how he started it. He goes, yeah, we were out here in pads and we get to have contact collision. And then, you know, and I'm like, and I'm flashing back to your namesake, Murf. You know, your uncle used to say, basketball's a contact sport. Football's a collision sport.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know who he stole that from, but he always said that. And I love that. I love that mindset. You know, let's collide, man. Let's rap.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited about Vontaze, man. I'm so glad he's embraced the role. And, you know, I had a you know, my perception of him was much different and now after like seeing him and hearing from him on the regular, you know, because I just kind of had the impression he was kind of like a dirty player and that he was, you know what I mean? Always, you know, it's one thing to push the boundaries, right? That's what Raiders do. It was in the locker room forever. In the Raiders locker room, it said, you know, cheating is encouraged. And then number 2 was number 1, right? It was like, you know what I mean? So we're accustomed to that. But I just had this impression that he was kind of a headhunter and what, I don't think he's as intentional as maybe what we thought he was. I think he just pushes the line.
Just an old soul, bro.
Yeah,
He comes from that school. You know, he comes from that. You know, you're in my lane. You're gonna feel it.
Yeah, because guess what? Right, you know, because behind me over here. Okay, so you got Tatum there. You can't see where's Villapiano? Villapiano's over here over this show. You watch old film of Tatum and Villapiano?
Oh, my God.
Guess what they're doing? They're hitting people in the head.
Right. Yes. No blood, no foul, Super Deuce says.
Yes. Absolutely. Constantly. So, look, I mean, Vontaze is very, very Raider. Now, he may be 70s Raider and 2019 NFL isn't played the same way. So we would hope that he adjusts his game so he doesn't get suspended. But But look, this guy's a Raider, man. I'm a huge fan, man. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do. All right, let's get to 2 more here before we close out the audio and get to the Sea of Fans. We're going to hear from Mike Mayock on the set of NFL Network.
Tyrell Williams has been catching the eye. I've been reading a lot about him, flying up and down the field here already in Napa. You handed us a nice little cheat sheet here, a little numerical roster. If I had to circle somebody to keep my eye on here today as we get into the first padded practice, as you mentioned, who should I circle here?
We're going to have a little red zone emphasis today, okay? And Tyrell Williams is a guy I'd watch, and we didn't think we were going to be able to get him. You know, we signed AB and paid him a lot of money. We didn't think, and Tyrell was our target in free agency, and all of a sudden we got AB. We didn't think we were going to be able to do it, and he actually wanted to come play for Jon Gruden with AB, and that helped us because we didn't really have the money that we expected he was going to demand. Right. So at the end of the day, he's better than I thought he was, and I thought he was really good. He's 6'3", he's able to sink his hips, he's catching everything. He's one of the most intelligent wideouts I've ever been around. He works his tail off, and I'm anxious to see him work hard in the red zone today.
There you go. So Mayock lays it out right there.
Yep.
That they were playing on Tyrell being the number 1 guy.
Yep.
And that the idea that both those guys put their ego aside and embraced what their roles are going to be, you can't beat it, man. It's good stuff.
Yep.
Good stuff. All right, let's close out our training camp report with, of course, hearing from the man himself. Let's hear from Jon Gruden.
First day of pads with Jon Gruden at the set. First day of pads, we're banging around a little bit, a little red zone, little pass rush. Jon, second time around, and you got to be excited because this season, a little bit different than last season with all the new faces that you have.
We are excited. We've added, I think, a really good group of rookies, 3 first-round draft choices that you'll talk about, I'm sure.
Yep.
Our second-year players got a lot of experience last year. They better be better this year. And we added some quality veteran guys. We got bigger, we got stronger, we got faster, and I think we got better. We just got to prove it.
Cruz, I got one question before you get going with David. You know, when we were together back in the day at Green Bay, you and I and Andy Reid and all the young coaches, we had Mike Holmgren yelling at us all the time, all right? You yelling at me too, all right, and everybody. And now, did you take anything from him? Do you yell at your young coaches like Mike Holmgren used to yell at us?
No, because I'm not 6'8". It's hard, you know, you're 6'8", you can yell down at the coaches. When I'm 5'9", I yell, I get excited. I'm more of a cheerleader than a yeller, but today I did get upset a few times. Our defense is much improved, and I'm an offensive guy, so I take it personal, and I got to go fix some problems.
Sometimes I get some heat on the network for being a Raider homer.
Yeah.
Right? So I always go to bat, and I'm saying, look, I mean, really, think about some of the challenges that you had last year. I'm sure you have, unfortunately. You had to think about, you had 2 rookie tackles playing, right? So that limits the amount of time and the amount of things you can do down the field. The guys that you had on the outside, your leading receiver was Jared Cook, right? That's tight end, right? So you were a little bit limited. So what were those the challenges, or did you have more challenges that when you step back into this thing, you're saying, man, that was a little harder than I thought it was going to be?
Well, we have to build a team. We got to build a team. We needed to add tackles. We didn't have a healthy tackle on our football team. In his prime, we didn't have one, so we had to go get Colton Miller and develop them fast. Yep. And we took Brandon Parker, but we struggled on defense. We had a hard time finding a kicker. We had a hard time finding a long snapper. And, you know, Derek, your brother, not just saying this because you're here, the guy throws for 4,100 yards, 70% in some dire, difficult situations. And I'm really confident that we've improved the defense, which will improve the offense. And I think with AB and Tyrell Williams and Josh Jacobs, I think Derek's got a chance to do some really cool things.
You have the toughest schedule in the league. I don't know what that means based on last year's records, but the toughest schedule in the league. And in the toughest part of your schedule, don't get all scared listening to me right now, is in the beginning of your schedule, the first 7 games or so. How do you get all these new faces? You have 21 free agents, all these young draft choices that you're going to play. How do you get them ready quickly? Do you alter training camp in any way?
No, not really. We have a lot of travel. We have, I think, 7 straight weeks without a home game.
Yeah.
We're playing home games in Winnipeg, Canada. We're playing home games in London. Shoot, Mooch, we might play in Los Gatos. Where you? You got 2 houses. We'll probably play down in Del Mar. Where else we got houses? That's it. We got a tough schedule, man. We're a tough football team. We got to be mentally tough. We can't worry about all that stuff. Who's got an easy schedule? I see you sitting up here with your microphone going, win, loss, 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 win, win, win. Sure. They're going to go 5-7. They're going to go 6-12. It's easy for you to say we got a tough schedule. Who the hell knows what's going to happen? We just got to go play down after down and compete.
So speaking about my brother, he mentioned something earlier, and it wasn't anything to do with the offensive football. He's talking about the young guys on defense, the rookie guy, like Max Crosby, Jonathan Abrams, some of these guys that he wasn't really expecting a lot out of these guys, but when they show up and they start making plays in the practice field, are they going to be something that you look as like something that is surprisingly going to help this football team, or how do you look at those young guys?
I'm going to be really surprised and upset if Cleve Farrell and Max Crosby don't make impacts right away.
Yep.
They don't quit. They don't have another gear. It's 100%, 1,000 miles an hour, and they have size, they have some versatility, and they're well coached by Paul Gunther and Brinson Buckner, and we need edge rushers. We are making the transition from a 3-4 to a 4-3, and that also is going to involve some growing pains, but those are two really interesting young prospects.
Yeah, Derek Carr stopped by the set, crashed the set twice, and he couldn't stop bragging about this rookie class of yours.
Yep.
Talk about your relationship with Mike Mayock and how you guys work so well together.
Well, I was offensive coordinator of the Eagles back in 1995. I met Mayock way back then, and we just share a similar, I think, view on how to build a team and similar passion in terms of how much we love football and love the Raiders. And, you know, I'm not getting any younger, Mooch, but I'm fortunate to have a group of scouts that have the same level of passion that me and the coaches have, and we're working together to try to get these guys what they need so they can bring the Raiders back.
You're surrounding his brother with talent and protection on the offensive line. Where will the improvement come from with a veteran, Derek Carr?
Well, I think the big improvement is just give the guy good looks. If we get guys open and give them a pocket, it's complete every time. I mean, this guy has incredible arm talent. He's very athletic. You probably saw it today. We put some plays in where he can utilize his legs, and we changed the launching spot. But if you get guys open and you give them protection, he can hit guys, and that's where Trent Brown, Incognito, AB, and certainly Tyrell Williams come into play.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck.
Great to see you, Mooch.
Man. Good to see you
Look
again.
good, man.
Cindy, all right?
Great outfit, brother.
Thanks, Coach. Jon Gruden, everybody.
All right,
Hey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, you go ahead with your thoughts. And I got questions for you guys, for both of you.
David Carr is a good announcer, and I know he's Raider drunk.
Yeah.
But how can you not be?
His
you know,
freaking brother plays for the quarterback of the team, right? Yeah.
He's a good announcer.
Yeah.
I like him.
Yeah.
He's good. I mean,
He is
he's
good.
hard hitting. He's good.
Yeah, I agree.
know?
I agree. Yeah.
That's
and
all.
he's there's going to be an acceptable amount of bias there just because his brother's the quarterback.
sure, yeah,
but
absolutely.
I think he's fair though, and that's the thing is that and I like to think that look, I'm not pretending like we're NFL Network quality here, but I like to think that look, we may be Raider drunk, we may be apologists, we may be bootlickers, but I think that we're fair. I don't think that we're, but we may focus on positivity. We may focus on the positive aspects of the team.
What's the first word of our show?
Raiders fan, exactly.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it doesn't mean that we're not willing to look. And so actually, and thank you for that, because here's a good segue, and here's what leads me into the question I have for you, Swaggo.
Okay.
There was a lot of Derek Carr criticism going off this offseason.
Yes.
None of it was from the team. None of it was from Mayock. None of it was from Gruden. And in fact, every time they had an opportunity, they went out of their way to compliment Derek Carr.
Yes.
They went out of their way to express, we're not interested in drafting a quarterback. We're not interested. So as fans, what level of confidence should we have going into this season in our quarterback?
We got to trust the team. Plain and simple. We got to trust the team. If Jon Gruden and Mike Mayock and the entire Raider organization, if they say Carr is our guy, then we just got to believe that and say, okay, well then he's our guy.
Where have we heard that on this show before?
Yeah, right?
I totally agree with you, Swag. We've heard that 1,000 times on this show. We've all said it.
Yeah.
You're so right. You're so right, Swag.
So, and Mosh, and then I want a couple other things that Coach Gruden touched on there that I want to hear from you. You've already kind of talked about the importance of mental toughness in there. And so if you want to tag on that, please do. But I want to ask you about, what about yelling at players? You've been a lifelong coach. You're a lifelong educator. You're a director. So even though you've transitioned from athletics into theater, it's still coaching. It's just a different kind of coaching. But what about yelling? We're a loud family. We're all about yelling and hollering and hooting. But tell us. But I know though, because I've seen you. There's sometimes though you don't yell. You're as big and loud as you can be.
Oh,
there's sometimes.
And I can talk to you about that too if you wanted to.
Okay, well, start us off, Mosh, and then finish us off.
Finish with me.
For me, it's when I'm not yelling is when they have to worry, and I think that's where he's going. But the thing about it is, what Gruden has always said when they talked about, Gruden's not going to be able to coach Carr. He's going to yell at him and he's going to drop an F-bomb. Gruden does what I do. I'll scream and yell and I'll kick you in the ass, but then I'm going to hug you.
That's exactly word for word what I was about to say. Exactly what I was about to say.
And I coached him for years.
Yes.
And Swag's not a big guy, but I stole him away from the team he was with. And I brought him into my sport. I coached distance runners and track and field and put him on stage and so I brought him into my fold. But plenty of times I screamed and yelled at him.
Yeah,
screamed and yelled at him. But I was the first guy in line to hug him and tell him what a great job he did.
Yes.
So I think that's where Gruden gets it.
That's that dynamic. It's the different, right? You can't be all one thing all the time, right? Is that maybe what it is?
And it's like a child that's not disciplined. A child without discipline doesn't know right from wrong.
Yes.
When you discipline a kid, they still know you love them.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, they get it.
Right.
He's yelling at me. He's telling me I shouldn't have done this for my own good. They get it. I don't care how old they are. They get it.
They get it.
You
Absolutely.
know?
Did you? So hit on that, Swag.
Yeah.
Before we go to see a fan.
Well, Mosh pretty much said everything I was going to say. As an athlete for a coach, when it was Coach Mosh, it was he'd bust your ass, but then say, hey, but don't forget I love you and you're doing really good. So yeah, it was. But the scariest times was when he wasn't yelling.
And I think that's right because he brings you in.
Yeah,
I've seen you do this with my boys too, and you've done it with me, but more so like being in more of an observer role, watching you with my boys who are now teenagers. It brings them in.
Oh yeah,
it brings them in, and you lock eye contact with them, and you see, and it's just like
yes.
You could just tell you're zeroed in, and not only are you communicating effectively, but they're receiving effectively.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing that gets missed, and I think this is what's so cool about Hard Knocks. We're going to see all this stuff.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, it's you got to be someone's nightmare and you got to ruin someone's dream and all that. And that's all great and wonderful and fun, but we're going to see the one-to-one. We're going to see the more intimate moments, for lack of a better term, between Gruden and the players. And yes. I think this is what all of them, everybody by all accounts has done nothing but rave about Jon Gruden being a mastermind, being a motivator, being a leader of men. And that's what we were so excited about when we got him. Because Del Rio wasn't that.
Nope.
Del Rio was not a leader of men. Del Rio was a fine football coach, but he wasn't a leader. And you could tell by the way that the team kind of washed out towards the end of the 2017 season. So, anyways, it's great stuff. Great insight by both of you guys there, and appreciate that. So, are we done?
You got Mayock.
No, we played Mayock first. Yeah, and we've already gone to MJ. I got another one on MJ, but I think we already heard that earlier. So let's
move on.
You know what though? I got to do one more.
Hey, this is Pete Koch.
Well, yeah, do that.
Los Angeles Raiders. Yeah, back in the old days, baby. And you're listening to Murf and Uncle Mosh, who happens to have the same hair as me. Check it out, Raiders Fan Radio.
We love Pete Koch.
Yeah, we do.
Can't wait to talk to him next week, man. That's going to be fun. I did have one other little anecdote that I wanted to play for you guys. So for the beginning of Greg Olson's press conference, he was some guy named Will there. He was taking a shot at Will, and he told Will to kiss his hindquarters. And then he quickly recovered because he realized he was on national television. He quickly recovered, and so I got the audio portion of that. Let's listen to it. It's pretty funny.
Had a good summer. I got some questions for you. Good.
Good.
All of them good.
All right. Do your best.
Will, kiss my ass.
Easy.
Will Kiss. You guys know Will Kiss? Man. Let's get it started, Will.
Let's get it started, Will. That was so funny.
I love it.
Yeah. All right, Mosh. So we got we heard from Pete Koch, who we're going to hear live from next week. But in the meantime, we're going to hear from the one and only Sea of Fans mailbag.
There he is, baiting, looking. He's under the gun. He's caught, he throws. It is! He caught it!
Murf. So normally at this time, I read an email from Paul from Shropshire, and we had a printer difficulty, and we didn't get it done. And Paul, we apologize. But Paul, man of many titles, even though we're not reading your email here, you're still with us in our hearts, because we can't pull it up. Murph's going to try to pull it up on his phone.
I got it, and it's my fault. Here, can you read off the phone, Mosh?
Oh my gosh, my little eyeballs.
You might have to pass
You
it
might
to
have to get Swag Jeff to read that.
Welcome back. Good evening, gentlemen. Welcome back to the Fan Cave. It was great to see you out on the road trip last weekend. Hey, he was one of the 9 people that watched us. It was a nice change for me to be able to join in with the chat room, an awesome crew of hilarious, and yes, they were great. But sadly, just as you were coming to the end, the signal dropped out, but it was still a lot of fun. A couple of things I had to pick up on. Firstly, I enjoyed your Spider-Man review, but in future, I think it would benefit from being a bit shorter. Just cut down on the details a little bit. Also, I would refer back to that. Anyway, for those of you that didn't catch it, go back and see that live. It's worth it. Also, I was really enjoying this and that, but didn't get to hear all of Uncle Mosh's answers. Well, you probably will hear it tonight. I've picked out a few of myself you may be interested in. Mike Glennon or Nathan Peterman? Lane Kiffin or Dennis Allen?
Ooh, ouch.
Cliff Branch or Timmy Brown? Jamarcus Russell or Jay Schrader?
Jay Schrader all day, the blonde that screws the whole football team.
Bo Jackson or Marshawn Lynch? Walt Coleman or Gene Sterafor?
Oh, my gosh. Not Walt Coleman, that's for sure.
Finally, 2 things to finish off with. I'd like to thank Wyoming Raider for his kind words in episode 134 following our 4th of July. I laughed for hours after that. You rock, fella. I know it could be shot down for saying this, but I believe we have real cause for optimism with the depth we now have on our roster. For so long, we've had a final 53 made up of some good and promising guys, but we've had to top things up with players who weren't so good, and they kind of kept us down. Really aren't good enough to get us where we needed to be. Good point. It's not the case this year. Looking at the current 90, there are going to be some tough decisions made, and I don't envy the coaches at all, particularly at wide receiver, tight end, or I can't read
another position.
Yeah, I can't read. I'm sorry, Paul.
Okay.
I'm having eye issues. Training camp is finally here, and we can reignite the excitement we felt after the draft time for the rookies to be sprinkled with that special Raider dust and start the process to Canton. And I just want to add that the special Raider dust is a lot different than when I started watching in the 70s. Thanks as ever for all your work, fellas. Love you, Raider Nation. Paul Egerton, Shropshire, Mississippi. Paulie Award winner from 2019, Sizzler scorekeeper, proud Maine man, and one-time winner of the Raiders Fan Radio Sizzler Award.
Awesome.
Nice,
good job,
nice,
Paul.
nice.
You rock, Paul, and good job, Mosh, reading that small print
Yeah,
off the phone.
yeah,
man.
right on.
Gosh, I think it was cornerback. I couldn't.
Okay, way to get the eyes work. You know, it's funny. We make fun of Uncle Mosh all the time because he'll have trouble reading something like that, but he'll spot a turkey from 200 yards away. You know what I mean? Like, the guy spots wildlife that he wants to shoot from a mile away. And now he's got his Fred Sanford double glass.
Oh, nice. Oh!
Trips to win, baby. I'm going trips.
Yeah, you are.
And if it gets
Oh,
a little
no.
dark in here.
Oh, no. Uncle Mosh has got 4 pairs of glasses on his
I'm
face.
good to go.
You're good to go. Oh, my gosh. Your eyes are like this big. They look like pie plates. Oh, man. Good stuff there. So appreciate that, Paul. Appreciate Uncle Mosh. And so if you want to contact us, the best way, although we love all your Facebook messages and Instagram messages and all those wonderful ways that you can contact the show and contact Murph's Fan Cave, still remains the best way to get to us is to send us an email. That's show@RaidersFanRadio.com, or call the show 909-345-3346. Leave us a voicemail. And if we get your voicemail played on the air 3 times, you become what we call a made man. And that's the reason for our shirt over Uncle Mosh's right-hand shoulder there where it says get made, is because if you call the show and get it played 3 times, you become a made man. So we want everybody to get made, not only by buying the shirt, but then by interacting with the show. So there's we call him the Capo. He's the made man of the Made Men. He is Aaron, the Q-Dog Raider, and we always start off our voicemail box with a call from the Capo, and so here's Aaron.
Greetings, Nation, Murf, Sonny, Uncle Mosh, Little Murf. This is your Q-Dog, your Capo, coming to you from the great state of Texas, heading eastbound on I-20 once again, and somehow I've managed not to eat a burrito, but let's get into it. I was reading a report where Chucky was talking about that Nathan Peterman is growing on him. Listen, toenail fungus grows on you, but doesn't mean you got to keep it, man. You got to eradicate it. I don't know what this guy's showing Chucky, but we need to get him gone yesterday. So there's your hit list, such as it is, and I cannot wait. I'm seeing excerpts, and I can't wait for the start of Hard Knocks or whatever it's going to be this year, because you know what? This is the one and only year we're going to be on Hard Knocks because the Redemption Tour is coming back. Now, I was watching NFL Network, and yes, you got to labor, you got to look, you got to search in order to find Raiders coverage on the main media outlets. But Marcel Reece, Murph's favorite, number 45, fellow Q-Dog, has come out and said that he predicts worst to first. The Raiders will, come from the basement and take over the AFC West. Hey, that's good enough for me.
Love it.
With a quick exit, absolutely. So Aaron's always so funny, man. And we award a Sizzler Award. Mosh does. He awards a Sizzler Award for the best caller, the best email throughout the course of the week. And Aaron's ineligible because he's a made man, right? Or he's the made man of the made man, being the Capo. But we'll definitely award one at the end of this segment. But man, that was funny.
That was funny. It's the first time he's ever brought up toenail fungus.
Yeah.
And if anyone were going to bring up toenail fungus in the right way, it was Q-Dog.
It was Q-Dog. And apropos in terms of Nathan Peterman, because, Swaggo, that's the last guy we want to see throwing passes this year, right?
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Running Bear calls him Nathan Fungus Peterman.
Yeah, hey, turn that in.
There you go.
Turn that into the contest.
Yeah, nickname contest. Absolutely. Great job, Running Bear. All right, let's go to our first non-Capo caller, and let's hear from Chucktown Raider.
Murf and Mosh, Swag Jeff and Capo. Hey, what's up? This is the Chucktown Raider calling you live from South Carolina. At least the time I'm making the call, it's live. Formerly known as the Unmade Man. Anyway, hey, I just heard Raider Juan on the phone, and I just wanted to send up prayers to Raider Juan and his family.
Absolutely.
And it's that's one thing about the nation. We pull together, and there's lots of love here. And aside from that, hey, Murf, really like the comment about keeping the politics out of football, man. I got 4 other idiot channels on any kind of station, any kind of public media access. And anywhere I go, if I want to see what people are doing that have their own pockets in mind. But anyways, so I'm great with keeping politics out of football. And hey, thanks again for everything you do. Hey, congratulations on winning the Murphy. Murf, and you guys keep the bright side up and the dark side down, and we want to be talking to you, not about you. This is the Chucktown Raider, and I'm out.
Awesome. Great job, Chucktown Raider. And I love it how he congratulates me on winning the Murphy Award, who was awarded to me by Kevin the Raider Nerd, who I believe is in the chat. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you calling in. Chucktown Raider, always good to hear from you. The formerly unmade man, because I finally caught up with him, and I think on the 5th try made him a made man. So speaking of Kevin being in the chat, let's shout out the chat. Watts Raider, Full Metal Mexican, Super Deuce, Aaron the Q-Dog Raider, Running Bear, who am I missing? Ron the Mater Raiders in there, Eye Patch is in there. Great,
Manny Bruce Salvador.
Manny Bruce Salvador. Appreciate the Big Easy also. Appreciate y'all joining us live. Murph's fan. See? Please, Mosh, tell us where you can see the chat room live. YouTube.com.
YouTube.com, Raiders Fan Radio.
/ Murph's Fan Cave.
Murph's
almost the
Murph's
same.
Fan Cave.
It's almost the same thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Ain't nobody. How about the social media director?
I could tell you. Yeah, YouTube.com / Murph's Fan Cave.
Hey, all right. Hey. And if 1 out of 3 ain't bad, then I don't know what is, right? So there you go. It's betting 300 over here. All right, let's hear next up from our buddy Historian Raider Steve.
Hey, Murph and Mosh, Houston. Historian Raider Steve. Hey, I've got a stat for you. For show 135, last year, Brandon LaFell had 5 catches for 135 yards.
He's challenging him for your job, Swaggo.
I hear that. PSA for your show and everything, but I don't think he's with the team. Anyway, all this stuff about Richie Incognito, man, what a has he been hanging out with Barrett Robbins? Man, this sounds like a Raider story if there ever was one, about the circumstances concerning all this at the funeral home. Man, I'm still trying to figure out the Sopranos ending, with I think her name was Willow, kept backing up the car and doing all that stuff, and Tony Soprano's in there eating onion rings and then fades to black. Man, this is about as bizarre as that. Anyway, great show, and the Raiders are going to be 8-8. Hopefully, in my book, 9-7 is the best possibilities. I'll probably miss the playoffs, but they'll be making strides. But the Raiders are back, baby. Go Raiders!
All right, there we go. Houstonian Raiders, Steve. So, there's kind of a funky story there with Richie Incognito.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
And I think somebody else touches on it later, too, that,
it's a bit dark.
It's a bit dark that he said he wanted to decapitate his father and take his head home at his funeral. I think is the gist of the story. I haven't even read the formal parts of the story. I've just heard it through the grapevine. I actually heard it from the Fan Club Blitz guys for the first time, and they were, they were riffing on it. And so go back and listen to the latest episode of the Fan Club Blitz because those guys do a better job of it than I do or will. But yeah, it's kind of an odd, dark story, but
we like that.
Yeah, but yeah, exactly. That's kind of in our wheelhouse. So but good stuff there from Historian Raider Steve Swago. Man, he's dropping the 135 on us.
Yeah,
and Hardcore Raider has done as well. So you know what I mean. You did a great job of that earlier tonight, but you better stay on your game, man, because it looks like people are coming for you.
That's fine. That's
Okay,
fine. Hey,
all
bring it. Bring it. Let's go.
All right, next up, the man that when he goes to work every day defends our freedom and is also a new Raiders season ticket holder in Las Vegas.
Yes.
And called to tell us about his experience. Mosh, you asked him for that follow-up phone call to let us know what it was like, and he sure did. And so let's hear from our buddy Mojo.
Fellas, it's Mojo with a follow-up. Just calling to give you the condensed version of what happened with the season tickets. Want to make it quick so I don't the Google Reaper don't take me out. So the guy calls me up as our scheduled meeting. Right before that, he sent me an email with a link. The link took me to a virtual meeting place. Had all the numbers in there, and it showed me what the view would look like from certain seats and seating areas. Him and I talked about what I was willing to do. Of course, I played the whole, I'm in the military, give me a discount, whatever you can do for me. He did help out a little bit. So for anybody who's listening that might go through with this, work them a little bit, just like you're at a used car dealership, man. Try to get what you can out of them, because they're gonna get what they can out of you. So I bought 2 tickets. I got them on the visitor side. I know my heart wanted to obviously be on the Raiders side of the stadium, but my brain told me that I'd be selling a few of these every year.
Smart move.
I'm not going to make that trip to Vegas, 8 times or more a year. So I got on the visitor side so I can resell them a little easier, I think. I'm up in the nosebleeds, section 409, row 9. It's over on the, that'd be east side of the stadium. So it's 2 or 3 sections to the south of where the eternal flame is going to be for Al. And then there's a big area in the landing there where the retractable glass opens up and closes right around the flame that is for it's bars, restaurants, and stuff for season ticket holders. So overall, I'm happy. I paid for the PSLs, those things that go away after 30 years, or if I don't buy tickets, if I don't buy the season tickets, any year I lose those. I paid $3,000 a seat, so $6,000 for my first seat license, and then for the first 2 years I'm locked in for it's like $1,900 for my season ticket, and I think that's certainly swingable. And I'm looking at it more of an investment up front each year. And I should be able to sell some of these tickets in order to go to 3 or 4 games with the kids. So that's the experience.
Google Voice has claimed you.
He called it early on, but man, Mojo. But look, aside from the Google Voice there, awesome job on that. That is fantastic. That gives us a definite insight into the season ticket process. So a couple things there, a couple takeaways that I got there. Number one, doing it virtually is really cool.
Yes.
Being able to like essentially Skype in and see where your seats are going to be, what the virtual view is going to be and all that. I thought that was really awesome. And okay, we're in Nashville. We're in Middle Tennessee, and we are in a destination city. People come here to do many other things that don't include going to a Titans game. So a lot of Titans season ticket holders sell their tickets to people that are incoming for vacation. And so as a result, you have a lot of visiting team fans, including Raider fans, when we've been to Raider games, that show up at Titan games.
Right.
And there's been an awful lot of criticism locally about Titan fans saying, don't sell your damn tickets because we don't want a bunch of visiting players or visiting teams fans to show up. But what Mojo is saying there is exactly what I would do too. Frankly, financially, look, that's a lot of freaking money. When you're talking about $6,000 just to have the rights to buy tickets, that's a lot of dang money.
And where's Mojo? Is he in San Diego?
He's in San Diego.
So he's looking at
travel
that
to
trip.
go into
Yeah,
it. So
right.
I don't begrudge him a single bit for looking at it from a financial investment perspective. My question is this. That said, I'll throw it to Swag first and then Mosh. Swag, what do you think? Are we looking at? Tell me a little bit about the perspective from Nashville, like what you see when you go to a Titan game and you see another team play. Do you think Vegas is going to end up being a bunch of visiting teams fans, or are we still going to see a lot of Raider fans?
Maybe initially for people that are going to be starting to come to Vegas and all that, they may be feeling out the team. I mean, are they going to be because in Nashville, you see Titans fans in the stands when the Titans are good. And when they're not good, that's where you see,
that's when they're selling.
That's why
it's loaded with Vikings fans or whatever.
That's why when we went to the Raider game a couple years ago, there was 75% Raider fans and only 25% Titans. So it was a home game for the Raiders in Nashville. But so a lot of those, So
you think it'll level out?
Yeah. You get some people and maybe. I mean, Vegas is just right now that's sexy. So people are buying tickets and they're going to sell them and all that. And, maybe people are buying some that may be fair weathered fans, Well, I'll go and see them if they're good, but if not, I'm just going to sell them away.
Just going to sell them.
Yeah.
Well, Bear Goon Squad says sell the tickets to Raider fans only.
That's a good point. And that's actually what they've said here locally about the Titans fans, right? If you're going to sell them, sell them to a Titans fan.
Yes.
Okay, so let me ask this question.
Yeah.
How many seats in that stadium?
In the new stadium?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm going to assume 65 plus.
Okay, so let's say 65,000 seats. How many of those are going to be purchased by those big fancy the big ones are going to be purchased by the casinos?
Oh, tons.
Okay, tons and tons.
Yeah,
so those are going to be given to the whales that come in. They're going to be given to this, the special tickets here, tickets there, kind of a thing. Those folks aren't going to come in wearing jerseys.
No,
they're going to wear suits.
Those and then how many people like you and I, if you and I go to a Titans game, odds are, well, I don't own a Titans jersey, but and I might wear my Raiders jersey to a Titans game. But if they're not playing the Raiders, like let's say we were seeing, the Titans and the Colts or something. I'm going to go and I'm going to root for the Titans. But when it's Titans-Raiders, I'm wearing my Raiders jersey. So I think when the three of us went to that last Titans-Raiders game, there were a lot of Raiders fans who are like us.
Who are local.
And we have, we like the Titans because that's the football team that's local.
Yeah.
That's who we enjoy watching when we get our fix for live football. But when it's our team, they're going to be playing the Raiders team. I mean, we're going to be wearing the Raiders jerseys.
Absolutely.
So,
and I think that go ahead.
I was just going to say, so I think you're going to see a lot of that in Vegas. But the reason I asked how many people are going to be in the seats, there's going to be a lot of people like Mojo that bought their tickets. So there's going to be, because of, first of all, location, so close to SoCal, that they're going to be an overwhelming amount. All those San Diego fans, we always kidded about San Diego's another home game for us.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Los Angeles is a Raider town, man.
There's going to be those people that make that trek day in and day out.
Absolutely. And, I think here's the thing that I think is different, and those are great points by both you guys. Here's what I think is different in terms of the dynamic between like a destination city like Nashville and a destination city like Vegas. Raider Nation is global, and Raider Nation is heavily concentrated in Southern California, like you said, Mosh. So I don't think there's going to be a big discrepancy. I think that you're going to have people like us, okay? Like, we're going to one game in Oakland this year, and it happens to be Detroit, and it happens because it lines up with timing of other events. So we're coordinating it with an entire trip, and we're not going in for just the game. Of course, our whole trip is Raider-centric, but we're going in with it framed around a bigger picture, right? And I think that's what you're going to see in Vegas. When you look at just the heat map of where people listen to our show, of where Raiders fans are that listen to Raiders Fan Radio, it's the Northeast, so it's New York, it's New Jersey, it's Texas, it's Florida, right? You look even up into the Midwest. Ohio is a big state for us. There are Raider fans everywhere, and I would argue that aside from a team like maybe the Cowboys, the Raiders are not only the most nationwide fan base, but the most global fan base. Yes. So guess what? We're going to be buying Mojo's tickets too, right? You're going to have Raider fans coming in from everywhere. It's not just going to be opposing teams fans. So, but I think it's going to be.
And I think this is a good platform for that.
Absolutely.
On those times when Mojo says, "Hey, I can't go to this game,"
absolutely,
we're going to have this platform for that. I got to shout out Pirate 1975.
Okay,
he says, "Question: what do the Denver Broncos and a Chick-fil-A manager have in common?"
No.
Answer: neither one shows up for work on Sunday.
Nicely done, Pirate 1975. All right, nicely done. All right, so let's hit the accelerator here. We've got a few more to get to before we call it a show. Marathon show. Thank you so much for all of you hanging in there with us for this whole time in the chat room. And let's go to a made man and hear from our buddy Eyepatch. I think so.
Hey, Murf, Mosh, Swag Jeff, Q, Raider Nation. Eyepatch calling you. I'm just driving home from work, and got a couple things. But I was wondering what happened to you guys, man. Last I saw you, you two were driving like Thelma and Louise through the mountains of Tennessee, heading to the casino. I don't know if you guys drove off a cliff or if you guys hit it big and you're sitting on some island drinking cocktails with fancy umbrellas hanging out of them. I hope to hear you guys tomorrow night. Anyway, first thing on my mind is Rodney Hudson. Guy shows up to camp, didn't pull any holdout kind of crap. We need to sign this man. Centers are important. We had Jim Otto, we had Dalby, and we all saw what happened when Barrett Robbins got cut out right before the Super Bowl. Center's a very important position. They call all the offensive setup. So let's sign this man before there's any bad blood involved. Second is Richie Incognito gets suspended 2 games. That clown down in Kansas City gets nothing. I don't understand it. Incognito wasn't even, he was retired when he made his threats. He wasn't even in the NFL. He gets 2 games for threatening to take his father's head. Like I said on the earlier call, I don't know if you're going to play it, but if he wants to take a head, believe me, he can take Tom Cable's, pack it up in a box, and take that with him. The third thing, we're into training camp now, and Chris Warren gets cut. The thing that bothers me about this Chris Warren situation, the guy had a good following. I mean, a lot of fans loved him.
Yeah,
the team seemed to love him. They put him on the IR to protect him so nobody else can get him. The guy had a whole year, man, to stay in shape and learn the playbook. You heard Derek Carr talking on NFL Network how easy things are for him now that he's had 2 years in the same system. I mean, this guy should have got it, man. He got a year to learn the damn playbook. Just stay in shape. That's all you got to do for a year. Stay in shape, learn the playbook. Mosh teaches drama and plays and stuff. Mosh, if you would have gave one of your kids a thing and said, you have a year to learn this role, and they show up and they don't know anything, I mean, you have no choice but to cut the guy. I mean, a year. You had a full year just to learn the playbook. I mean, it's insane. The opportunity that he had and just tossed away. Incredible. The last thing on my mind is now that we have some depth on this team, we have some players that can play alternate downs and stuff, I want to see Coach Gruden make some adjustments in the second half. We let a lot of ball games last year, or were close in a lot of games at halftime. Second half, we got blown out. I mean, he's going to make the adjustments. Maybe our roster was thin last year, and we couldn't hang with the teams. But this year, there's no excuse for that. So I want to see some adjustments made at halftime to win some of these ball games. Anyway.
Google Voice has claimed you.
Got another one.
Did he call back?
You sure did, Mosh.
All right, let's hear the rest of it.
Hey, I patched calling back. Google got me. Google's undefeated. Anyway, I just wanted to say that looking really forward to Hard Knocks, and I just hope we don't get a lot of players picked off of our practice squad, because there's going to be a lot of late cuts, I think, that are some really talented players. And now that everybody's going to be watching Hard Knocks, that we don't lose some guys that we wanted to keep around on our practice squad. Anyway, nation, peace out, peace, love, keep the faith, and just hit the damn button.
Great job, iPatch.
Yeah, thanks, iPatch.
Absolutely. Always good to hear from him. And, hey, so he mentioned, losing some of the practice squad players. Swaggo before the show started. I'm just calling you Swaggo now. I don't know why.
I like
it's
it.
Whatever, yeah. I'm all about it.
I think I actually got it from you, Mosh.
Swaggo, yeah.
Swaggo, yeah. So Swaggo, Ronald Ollie, man.
Yeah.
Bummer, dude. That's one of the guys we were rooting for.
Yes. Yeah. The last chance you guy. Yeah, it's a bummer.
Yeah, sad that he got cut. I didn't see that he resigned anywhere. Did you?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he was kind of a long shot anyways, but
yeah.
he's such a fun guy.
And you hate that, but it's kind of a good problem to have when you got so many good guys.
Right.
That a guy that you're like, man, I wish they didn't cut him. And I mean, a couple guys like that. He's like, man, it's kind of a bummer that. But, I mean, we're so stacked.
Absolutely. And he also mentioned, Mosh, about, if you give a kid an assignment, or you give, like, in this case, Chris Warren a year to learn the playbook, get in shape, and they show up, it doesn't matter how much you like them.
It's that mental toughness we were talking about.
Yep.
If you don't got you got it or you don't.
You got it or you don't.
Yep.
And so sadly, we lost both those guys. But you know what? Hopefully the Raiders, well, not hopefully. We know they know what they're doing. They know more than we do.
Oh, yeah.
And so we're going to look forward to seeing how their replacements show up. All right, let's get next to our this is one of, not becoming, he is now. Look, we don't play favorites, but he's one of my favorites. So I guess that's me playing favorites. Here's Rev Raider.
What's going on, Murf and Uncle Mosh? This is Rev Raider calling from Jersey again. Standing outside, just getting a little breath of fresh air at the park with the dogs. And this time of year, I don't know about anybody else who's played football, but you just get that fresh smell of grass, and you just like, it's that time of year. You start getting that mood or that feel for football, like more than you usually do throughout the year. And very excited about the season. Raiders sound like they're moving in the right direction and stuff. Couple of shocking things. Well, there's a little bit of a shock seeing Chris Warren getting cut and stuff like that. I kind of could have saw Ronald Ollie getting cut anyway, because he was like really low on the totem pole. So I wasn't really shocked by that. I was kind of expecting it, even though you were pushing for him and stuff. And of course, the media is still hating on the team again and stuff like that, especially Derek Carr with all those things about sensitivity and stuff like that, reaching again, but coming up shorter than midget oral interactions, But what can you do? Only the people who really, really pay attention to the Raiders, they really get what's going on, I look at it like that old LTD song by the name of Love Ballad. What we have is much more than they can see, Excited about just seeing Hard Knocks, even though Mike Mayock didn't even want it, and he put it on the record that he didn't. Makes sense. I understand how that is when you want to do a retreat, But that's all I got. Always enjoy, Looking forward to talking to you guys again. Peace.
All right, I'm sure he's referring to folks that are vertically challenged in their conversations when he says that, yeah. That was pretty fun. All right, so let me say this. I want to hear from both you guys on this too. I'll go to Swag first. I'll tell you mine. He mentioned the smell of the fresh cut grass.
Okay.
For me, it's the first chill in the air. It's when the weather. Now, growing up in California, we didn't have that really, unless it was nighttime.
Yeah, fresh grass meant something completely different to Mike.
Oh, yeah.
He said he's got some fresh grass. I was going, did he leave a phone number here?
So, but unless it was nighttime at Candlestick, it usually wasn't very cold. But here in the South, like that first, like the cool, crisp day, it's like, all right, that's football season, man. Like we're coming up on. How about you? What is your first kind of indicator?
Yeah, that would be it for me. Just the little chill in the air, and the fresh cut grass, leaves on the ground. It's
good stuff.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah,
Mosh?
no, I agree. I like the. Man, I have all the respect in the world for these high school football players in the South where the humidity is bad.
It's brutal right now.
Even in the Midwest. I mean, I just did a week in Washington, D.C. like 2 weeks ago, and the humidity was crazy up there. And these guys are out there, they're in full pads, and they're hitting. And, I mean, I just have all the respect in the world for them. And I know that nobody loves cold weather better than a football player.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody loves cold weather.
Yeah, playing football in California was a breeze when I was in high school compared to like what my kid has to go through. And I mean, it's just awful. I mean, out there in August, and they're just, it's nasty. It's nasty. All right, so we got a new caller to the show. Let's hear from our new friend, RBK Raider.
Murf, Uncle Moss. This is RBK Raider chiming in from Riverbank, California, representing the 209. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Just wanted to touch bases with you guys, man. Again, on that Amari Pooper situation, that guy doesn't even deserve the pleasure of saying the name Raider. He never had the heart, never had the desire to be a true Raider. And you guys touched on all those points. But just wanted to say, man, I love what you guys do. You help us all through the off season, and it's nice to have true Raider fans out there. And I know 90% of the people that listen to you don't even call in. And all you guys out there, I hear you on every other podcast. Want to give a shout out to the Pillagers because they're awesome guys too, and they do a great job.
They do.
Absolutely.
I know you guys put a lot of work into what you do, and it keeps us going every day through work, waiting for the preseason to finally kick off. I'm probably going to get cut off by your little YouTube thingy, whatever. But anyway, just want to say, man, I'm more optimistic than I've been in a long time. The last few years, I know as Raider fans, we're always optimistic, but I just didn't really feel it with Del Rio. Even after that 12-4 season, I didn't really feel it. Bringing in Jordy Nelson, I was like, I don't know. That's probably not going to work. But now, cracking the top 5 in wide receiver duos by all the analysts, adding the depth to every position, like, I'm super stoked about this year. And I'm going to go to every game that I can, and hopefully get out there to the game you guys are going to be at and meet you guys in person because I know you live 1,500 miles away. But, cool. Just want to say, man, we thought we were going to the last game last year at the Denver game. I took my dad, realized he'd never been to a Raider game, and he brought me into Raider fandom at 3 years old. And we got poured on. It was raining. It was cold, but still had the time of our lives, and he's still talking about it. So I'll be bringing him out there, too, and hopefully he'll be with me to meet you guys. But just want to say, keep your heads up, Raider Nation. We're going to fly again. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. I'm calling 10-6. You can take that as a hot take, and we're going to give Kansas City a run for this division. So, RBK Raider, out.
Awesome job, man. Appreciate the phone call.
Yeah, good first call.
Absolutely. Great first call. And, we got a lot of lurkers, you know what I mean? There's a lot of, there are, thousands of people that listen to our show, and only, we get a handful of calls in comparison. And so always love to hear from new people. So for those of you that have never called in before, hit us up, man, 909-345-3346, or email us, show@RaidersFanRadio.com. And great call there from RBK Raider. And look forward to meeting you. So we're going to be at the game. I'm not sure exactly where we're sitting yet. We're going to buy a block of tickets because there's a whole bunch of us that are going to be sitting together. I'm pretty sure we're either going to be in the A lot or the D lot. And it's not far are from the Pillagers.
And we'll post it.
And we'll get to all this stuff and make it official. But it's the November 3rd game against the Lions. So if you want to meet up with us and interact with us, please do. When we went to the game last year, unfortunately, it was me and my buddy Harley. Uncle Mosh wasn't able to make that trip, and Sonny wasn't able to make it. So it was just kind of me and Harley out there. But we met so many awesome people, so many people that are familiar with our show, and were hollering at us as we're walking through the tailgate, and met up with Emiliano, Big Raider Trucker, met up with Raider Steve Almas, met up with the Pillaging Podcast. Like, it was all the Black Hole. The Black Hole tailgate is absolutely it's unmatched in the NFL. It's amazing. So anyways, if you're going to that game, then definitely if you see us, holler at us, and look forward to meeting all of you out there at the game on November 3rd. All right, last one before we get out of here is Alaska Raider, and here we go.
Hey, Murf, Uncle Mosh. How's it going, Raider fans? It's going to be a good season. I got good vibes. I think we're going to do pretty good. I mean, I would definitely see us at 8-8, even with our schedule. But I was just listening to that interview with Trent Brown, and they're like, hey, you've been going against Cleveland Farrell. How's he doing? And then, and they're like, he's like, no, I've been going against Josh Morrow and Max Crosby. And they're all, what do you think of them? And he's like, Max Crosby is a hell of a player. And I was just like, yeah, he wouldn't be giving him no props if he wasn't. And that just makes me, feel good, because Cleveland Farrell's got a lot of love. So, yeah, get back to the defense of the Raiders. All right, guys, take care. Later.
Good job, Alaska Raider. Appreciate the call. And, yeah, I agree with them, man. If Trent Brown is giving you props, especially as a rookie, then that speaks volumes to me. So appreciate the call and a great take. And, man, 8-8 plus. I'd said I would relieve myself of the burden of expectation with this football team, but I would certainly love to see 8-8. And I think the further we get, I think the better that they're going to be. All right, Uncle Mosh, what do you got for Sizzler?
All right, so we started it off with a toenail fungus update from the Capo. And then Chuck Down Raider throw some love out there towards Raider 1, which we all exemplify. We all want to throw some love towards
Absolutely.
Raider 1. Dead Sea Scrolls Raider Steve threw some 135 challenges at Swag, and then he hit us with a big dark comment about dead people's dads' heads.
Right, dead people's dads' heads? People's dead dads' heads.
It's been a long show.
It's been a long show. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So Mojo,
somebody prop Jeff up over there, man. He's
Mojo updated us on his how to go about getting the tickets, in the new stadium. That was great. Eye patch. I loved his Thelma and Louise cut. And and that was good. Hit it down. I can't read my own writing. Oh, he said hit the damn button. The end of that. Ray Raider calling us calling outside fresh grass. I love that.
Yeah, you're all about fresh grass.
I had a flashback.
Yeah.
It was great. And then he ends it with his midget reference. I love it.
Is that a politically correct term, Mosh?
You know what?
He's talking about small cars that you race, the midgets.
I don't care. RBK Raider from the 209, his first caller. And with his Amari Pooper comment. I love that.
I love that. That'll never get old.
But I gotta fix something for RBK. We don't ever say little thingy on this show. Alaska Raider. Lots of props to everybody. And so tonight, I got to go with my politically incorrect brother and his midget comment.
Oh, my
Rev
gosh.
Raider.
Oh,
baby.
nice.
Sizzler.
Awesome job, Rev Raider, with the Sizzler Award.
We are Metallica, and we are here for your Oakland Raiders!
You know why we out here, and we ain't playing around today.
From The Walking Dead to errant Jedi Knights, Raiders fans are a rogues gallery.
So we didn't talk about From the Ground Up. which is an amazing series on YouTube that you can watch. It's narrated by Mike Rowe and is like watching episodes of the Discovery Channel about the Raiders constructing their new stadium. We didn't talk about Madden getting released with that stupid Kermit the Frog quarterback on the cover of it. But that doesn't matter because we're still going to play our Raiders and we're going to play them to Super Bowl championships. We didn't talk. There's so much. It's ridiculous the amount of Raiders content that is out there. So I know you all are definitely invested into all that stuff and not just this show.
I'm sorry.
I know. I love it. I love it.
Pirate
Please.
1975 is on fire tonight.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What do you do? What do you do?
Hey, me and Swag will play this one.
Okay.
Hey, Swag, what do you call a Kansas City Chief with a Super Bowl ring?
What do you call it?
A thief.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Oh, good
Oh,
stuff.
my gosh.
Good stuff, Pirate 1975. All right, Mosh, you want to hit that outro? There we go. All right, so thank you for joining us for episode number 135 of Raiders Fan Radio. Appreciate all of the wonderful voicemails that you left us. Appreciate the emails from Paul in Shropshire, Mississippi. Appreciate all the guys in the chat. Jeff, shout out the chat for us.
Yeah, we got Pirate 1975 eye patch, Q Dog, the Big Easy, Freddie Chavez, Running Bear, the Mater Raider, Rev Raider. Hey, thank you guys. You guys make this show for us. We love you guys.
Absolutely. And so I appreciate you joining us here for episode number 135. We will be back next week for episode number 136, fresh off of Hard Knocks, man. That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun. And Uncle Mosh, take us home.
Thanks for listening tonight, everybody. And for Murf, this is your old Uncle Mosh with my sidekick over there, Swag Jeff. You've been listening to Raiders Fan Radio, where we have taken a lighter side journey into the dark side. Good night, everybody. Drive safe. God bless.